All right, we're out here, out here at Matt Beringer's homestead doing the Unclicked podcast on location. We got Matt, Riley, Ryan Fudger, myself.
Bill.
Yeah, we're in Matt's workshop garage / memorabilia zone.
And it's been relegated to the garage. A lot of videos were inside before, right?
There's the TV zone, and then there's the office. That was kind of like the catch-all of a lot of old relics or whatever, But now Shane works from home most of the time, so that's his office. I've been moved out here with my magazines. Magazines were on the pool table that never gets used in the front room. The hoard shifts here or there.
Are you scared that you're a hoarder? Is it fear?
No.
Do you embrace it then?
Yeah, for sure.
You do collect literally everything from every...
I think through the years, anything I got rid of, I wished I wouldn't have, so I did less. I would just be like, I can't get rid of anything.
So what's the biggest regret, the thing you gave away that you're like,
oh geez,
what was I thinking?
Well, one of the things was my not coming snowboard, and I got to remake one now, but it was shit, I wish I would have kept that. Different frames, different. I don't know.
Do you have your most prized?
Not many things though.
Is there a prized possession, the one where if there was a fire, you would grab that?
Shit, it's still in the office. I still have my first trophy from '84, second place, first loser. My first ever trophy. I don't know. Everything's got a story though, it all brings up some kind of memory and has a good story. All of it. Anywhere I look, it's all got a great story. So
yeah,
I try to be more organized than, shit. When we moved in here, it was stuff that's amazing that I love. That my first trophy mixed with some new stuff that I got, mixed with some other shit that I should throw away.
I take
all
years.
just a mix everywhere. So it was, and I would open up a box that from moving and just be stuck there for an hour. But, just looking at stuff in the box. I could still open up a box of stuff in the office and be like, oh man, that was the time I went to Feast in 1998.
The real question everyone wants to know is, where is the horse head? Is it still there? Is it still around?
Keith wanted it. Mulligan wanted it. And by that time, it was falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys know where it's at?
Well, it was at the ride office for a long time, but eventually
It was falling apart.
It was rotting out.
The vomit affected the molecules, the integrity of the horse mask. Literally, it got it looked like the horse itself was vomiting its own body out. It was
disintegrating.
It was not the version of what you wanted it to be. But it was only where the vomit touched.
Okay.
I think he broke down.
It's the whole snout just going out.
One of those things.
Jesus.
Keith is also a collector.
Keith is also a collector.
So I feel like you two are in the same lane in that regard. And he's also, because this is very organized.
It is. It's incredible.
This is very organized, and he's also very organized. So I feel like
It's in here somewhere.
In that regard, it's very similar.
I got a photo doing a one-handed X-up.
I remember that photo.
At 9th Street in Austin. Keith shot it. Doing a one-handed X-up wearing this hat. But I shot photos with a little fake plastic gun where I was shooting at the camera, and they wouldn't run it because they didn't want to have me shooting at the camera. But
some things haven't changed, I guess.
That's But I'm sure that
I think we should cancel the magazine.
this isn't the one, but
Second
this one
Amendment
came along. There is a.
I told her, was it an Airwalk ad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That's crazy. In the ad, they colorized it. They gave some weird pink tone, I believe.
This one's falling apart just from being in there.
Yeah.
That looks way better than what the Mulligan had, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was falling apart bad.
Yeah.
The funny thing about Road Fools 8, I was so proud to be a part of that video and go on that trip. There was the sessions that went down, and it was one of my favorite trips and one of the favorite videos of the trip. But when I came home, I never showed my parents because of the horsehead stuff. I wasn't like, hey, check out this video of that trip I went on. And then years later, like, my mom saw it online.
What did she think of it?
Like, Matthew.
She's proud of me.
I didn't know you like horses.
Anyways, that's the stuff that stays in a bag. Eventually, some of this shit you gotta put up on the wall, but you can't put everything on the wall because it's just a big mess. And Shane doesn't like this because when I put this on it, I turn into a different person and start playing my saxophone, and it's a whole nother persona. Yeah. It feels good though.
You look like you look like you sell incense at Venice Beach or something like that when you wear that.
We did.
Yes.
We did the monster truck shows like 15 years ago, and I'd always have it on at the shows. And some of the guys that drove those trucks, I took it off one time when they were making us sign autographs after, and they were like, thought it was my real hair. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Joe Dirt status.
Anyways, yeah, that gets put away in the lockers from when 50/50 was supposed to be getting closed, but didn't close.
Wait, it's still open?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
open right now. Yeah. Yeah, they discounted everything, and all of a sudden, they got enough money to remain open. It's like the weirdest thing. Yeah.
Huh.
It's not owned by Eddie anymore.
No.
Yeah, a different guy,
Yeah.
but super
Brigham
random.
City shop guy technically bought it out, so he's like not there all the time and stuff, but he's not there all the time either. So it's Elijah, there all the time, but it's still open, still going. Now Elijah's ordering stuff, so it's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it's
But a
just
lot of
happy to
people
be
don't
next.
know that it didn't close because it was like a big thing, like 50/50's closing, but then they didn't, so it was like, tell everybody shit.
Yeah. We changed our mind. Grand opening, grand closing, grand opening.
Grand
Exactly,
reopening.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, when they were supposed to be closing, it was like, oh, I need the lockers from the Sandy shop. I need some gyro cables. So I got some random stuff, but then they didn't close. And then Sunset Bingham's other shop that was open for 50 years, they closed and got all kinds of random stuff from that too. So, and they actually did close. Which
That's sick. You got the lockers. That's like legendary lockers.
Fuzzy told me to ask you for a story from Thunder Hill.
from Thunder Hill, jeez, Fuzzy was a local. I mean, shit, he was probably like 14. Like, how old's Fuzzy now? Like 53?
Yeah. Well, he's born in 70, so 56.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jesus,
So-
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I was 7. I was 7. My cousin started racing, and so we got into it.
Is that trails or is this trails? Thunderville?
Downhill track.
Oh, okay.
Downhill track in Ogden. It started at the top of the hill, and it went across the top, and then the turns are where the hill would go down. So it was sick because the turns went
Drop
like
turns,
down.
yeah, that's sick.
Level change of the turn down, and then some stuff on that, and then level change of the turn down. Like the one turn was like you're cooking, and then the trick jump was where Fuzzy got all, he would do awesome stuff. He would do crazy can like pedal grab, like Fuzzy did like a chain grab or something. Like, I don't know.
Do you think, when I was talking to him, I said something like, I was like, there wouldn't be a Beringer without Fuzzy. Like, Fuzzy, Beringer, Aiken, and then the next generation. Like, do you think, if Fuzzy didn't have all this, the trails and the influence that he did?
For sure. Because, I mean, you guys got to talk to him today. Fuzzy's, when you talk to him, he's the same age as he was when I was 7, he stays young, he stays psyched, he was a local track jumper, plus he was fast, and, one of the fast racers, and there was nationals there and stuff, and then, we moved Plain City to Roy. My one cousin moved to North Dakota. My other cousin quit. So we all fall out of going to the BMX races and stuff. And Fuzzy's still in the mix. And then I'll never forget when my cousin Shane brought over a magazine. He was like, dude, check this out. Fuzzy's in the magazine. And it was like, oh man, wow, look, he's like in a magazine. That's so sick. And then Fuzzy's in every magazine. You know, he's like, you know, there was just such a handful of dirt jumpers, and like him and Moeller, and you know, like just such a small amount hitting the one jump contest at the BMX races and stuff. And so, you know, years go by, and I remember him from the races and stuff, and then all of a sudden he's known and in pro, and he's still a single A pro racer on the Mongoose team. And my buddies knew where he lived and his phone number, and I would hit him up and bug him. Hey, let's go ride. He was always busy. You know, he's always like doing something else, like working on his lowrider truck, or working on this or working on that. And
So you mean Fuzzy's been that way ever since he was
for sure.
Most impossible person to get a hold of ever.
But they came, like him and the Mongoose, like Jason Thurnow and somebody else on Mongoose. They came to the Ogden track when I got back into riding. So I get back into riding because meet some friends up in town. Get back into riding when I'm 16. It's 1993, and there's the Ogden track. It has a dirt tabletop that's like basically a box jump, and Mongoose guys come, and it was such a big deal that they came to town. I remember like Fuzzy had like Dura Ace hubs and like bladed spokes or some shit, you know, and they're all like you know, leathers and jersey and stuff, and that was like even into some of the X Games, Fuzzy was always leathers and jersey.
Yeah,
he was like the
neon.
But like he fit. I mean that guy right there, you know, like he's the uniform. He runs the checkered Vans slip-ons, and he runs. You know, he's like the dude that's, you know, fit the mold. You're still, because everybody was racing. You know, everybody was like. The track was where to be. It was all there was. We didn't know anything about freestyle. We didn't, you know, we're racers, but then there's the jumpers, and Fuzzy was that since I was 7, and like 84, 85, when they're doing jumps, you know, doing tricks on the track and stuff. I'll never forget when I was 16, I might have been 15, 16, and my friends that raced up in town, like, we're up in town, and it was like, dang, there's Fuzzy, right? And there he is. He's got like a lowrider mini truck. I think it was a convertible. You know, it was like, damn. You know, like there's Fuzzy. He's in Roy. What the hell's Fuzzy doing in Roy? Because he lived in Salt Lake. He lived in Rose Park, but his girlfriend at the time, she lives up in town across the street from where I went to junior high, and like her dad is friends with my dad and stuff, and that's Terry. That's Fuzzy's wife now. So, and Terry, I don't know how the hell they met. Terry's from here. She's a royal heir. You know, like she's like, you know, Terry's on it. She's awesome. You know, like I don't know how the hell they met, but like next thing you know, 96, they get a house straight down the street, right over there.
Yeah.
Like. Fuzz getting out of the BMX party house in Rose Park and getting a house down the street, and it was like gonna have jumps in the yard.
That was the first one he bought, right?
Yeah.
No, he bought the BMX house, and then he bought.
Yeah,
I'm
sure he bought the Rose Park place, but and that Rose Park place, he had a box jump down there for a little bit. I broke my collarbone on it on the way to the party when they found out they got the 2002 Olympics. The only time I ever broke my left collarbone because I had tan comp 3s. I blame them. I slid out and just went down, broke my collarbone, went to the party. Anyways, like, so I got that box jump from him, and it was back there at one point. But then he moves down the street. I'm just out of high school, 96, going to the Applied Technology Center to be a machinist, and all of a sudden, Fuzzy moves down the street. It was like, man, I skipped class, skipped school, work on stuff, and the next thing you know, like video guys come to town. The first video that pretty much had Utah in it, Shank.
Yeah.
Shank video.
We watched that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh geez, Shank comes to town, and it was like videos weren't that big yet. I mean, the first video I saw besides Rad was the first thing I saw for years and years. That was the only thing, Rad and BMX Bandits. And then my buddy got copy of Hoffman Headfirst, and that was the only other video I saw. So when video comes to town to film, it's like Shank, and it's like, okay, you know, like this is cool. Like Utah's in a video, this is amazing, you know. And we wrecked, and I wrecked a front flip the first time we went to SoCal for a contest, going out there with Fuzz and Elf, Utah Ryan, like just, I'll never forget one thing about that contest. Like I'd go out there with all my friends from here, and I'd leave from the contest with like Marvin, Stricker, Butler, Ricky Rat. We ended up at Bose Trails. I'm like, all of a sudden I'm not with my buddies I came there with, you know, got to California with. I'm with all these dudes, and like, I'll never forget Stricker with like, people were like, oh, it's so sick, you tried a front flip, and like Stricker was like, you did that, but you didn't really do anything else. You know, like I wasn't really insulted by it, you know, but I'm like, you're right, you know.
Like that's insulting, like, but luckily I don't care.
It is, and
Whatever.
You know, I love Stricker, like, but it was the only thing I did. I couldn't flip the jump. I tried and like didn't even come close to clearing it. I didn't spin it. I didn't do any other tricks.
Had you landed a front flip at that point, or was okay? It was just straight up.
I was still wrecking them.
Yeah.
How'd the whole front flip come about?
Yeah.
Because
Fuzzy told his side of it, and he got a little heated at a point.
Fuzzy did it. Fuzzy did it into snow, and it was a big deal. You know,
Yeah.
Snow jumping early on. You know, like forever, like. Because when he tried it at the Grands, it was 94. I was 17. I was there to race, you know, and it was a big deal off the GT ramp over the berm.
And that's the one that he was clipped in.
Yeah, he's clipped in.
He clipped it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because he said that's how he practiced him in the snow.
Yeah.
What?
So he's like, nobody's ever done it before, so you must need clips.
It was a big thing.
That's nuts.
And like if I could get my mom's old camera to play, I have footage of that. We're in the stands and we're just like, wow, holy shit, you know, like it was such a big deal. Like, and I don't know, Fuzz moved down the street, and we went late jumping a different time not with Fuzz. Like we were with Fuzz when I learned backflips. Me and Fuzz were doing backflips for some of the first times, but before that, it was like I hucked a front flip and got around because I could do it on my snowboard, and I couldn't make myself do backflip on snowboard or anything. So I huck it around and get around in the water, which is like very first clip of like Please Kill Me was the very first time that I made myself do a front flip into water. You know, Fuzz's jumps down the street, and we had the same launch ramp that we were late jumping, and like sending ourselves on that, and then I don't know, it just became the thing that I wrecked on.
He said a guy showed up, Sean Palmer.
Yeah, mountain bike guys.
Yeah.
Deer Valley race. Sean Palmer, Dave Cullinan. Yeah, those guys are all there. Big thing, mountain bike guys come to Fuzzy's house, and I'd tried them before. Like, I'd tried, on Thunder I tried one. When I was on the, I tried a 97 X Games and ate shit. I was trying and eating shit, you know. Tried it over the tabletop at Ogden and just land on my ass, fall past the landing and stuff. You know, I just try, just send myself. And then those guys put up money to try it, and it was $240. And I was supposed to do it first try. And I got close, and so they were like, okay, we'll give you another try. And it's on that plush video. And it took me 3 tries, and send it, and next thing I know, I'm riding away like all surprised, like what the hell?
Yeah.
You know, like, and I got $240, and
Was that the first front flip like ever? You think?
No, probably Dennis Wingham onto a box jump in England, front brake.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know, like, but I'll never claim it.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
probably he did it before me and stuck it and rolled out of it. But
Did you do it on a mountain bike?
I was no front brakes over a jump. And then my quote for the video when the mountain bike guys were in town, my quote was, because all those guys make money. You know, they're in town for the race. They're out like Brian Lopes, Dave Cullinan. You know, like they make money. We're BMX bums. You know, and I was like, next time it's going to be on a mountain bike because I'll make a lot more money. And so the guy that made the video, Thor Wixom made that video, and he starts bugging me. You got to do it on a mountain bike. You got to do it on a mountain bike. And I was like, I don't want to do it on a mountain bike. Damn it.
Give me the money.
You know? He's like, what was it? $500. I'll pay you $500 if you do it on a mountain bike. And
On the same jump?
yeah, same jump.
Like same day?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay,
like a year later or
Okay.
something, right? And so he's like bugging me because of the quote on the thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'll pay you, $500 to do it on a mountain bike. And finally, I'm just like, shit, okay, I'll do it. And that's a funny thing too, because so get to Fuzzy's house. He's gonna give me $500 to do it on this mountain bike. The mountain bike, the tires are super low. This thing's clapped out. It was a nice bike, but it was a clapped out piece of shit, right? And I'll never forget, my mom was there, and she didn't want me to do it. She was gonna pay me $500 not to do it.
Oh man!
Right?
Wow.
And I was like, everybody's here, I have to, And I remember just going around that turn and riding up the lip, and I did grab front brakes. I don't know if it did anything for me or not, because it was always luck of the draw, but I just did it. First try.
Really?
Boom. Right away, what the hell, right? Took that dude's $500 and went straight to the bank. Directly to the bank.
That's sick.
Hell yeah!
But yeah, all that stuff was I don't know.
How old were you then on the mountain bike front flip?
20.
So, your front flips obviously were the roll style. And how many front flips did you pull?
Chucky.
Chucky, yeah, they are like Chuck, yeah. How many did you pull over the span of your career, do you think?
I don't know. I thought about that. I thought about putting together a collection of stuff.
Yeah.
Do
you think less than 100?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But still to this day, I never actually learned it. I'd say Road Fulls, Road Fulls 13 when I'm doing it over the box jump at DMC's ramps was probably the most consistent where I was doing it. I guess the Huntington thing where I did the backflip to frontal flips over it. I did
that was the 4-pack, right?
I did a bunch of them there,
Yeah.
but I still it was always
Roll the dice,
luck
yeah.
of the draw,
Yeah.
And last year at my birthday, it was just
Fuck.
you don't hit the jump at all.
Yeah.
This is winter time. I hit it once on I hit it on race bike or heavy bike or whatever. 3 it on my regular bike. Sun's going down. People are there. Everybody's and I'm just okay, I better do it now.
But you don't say a word.
I got
say a word to nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody knew about
I got
this. It's
smashed.
crazy.
Yeah.
But probably my
Made you feel alive a little bit.
40. Oh, for sure. I could barely walk with crutches after that, but it's still the thrill of the send.
Yeah.
I'd say some of the best memories were we're in Fresno or something doing 50-50 shows, and I tried one and get smashed right at the end of the show. I try it and get smashed. Crowd's yeah, they're all yeah, right. And the announcer was oh, and that's it for the BMX guys. And I get up and I'm no, fuck that, and the whole crowd's just yeah, because the announcer's oh, on to the next, right? And I crash again, and everybody's on their feet, and the announcer's all right, looks like they're over with, on to the next. And I just like, the whole crowd just sees me be like,
Yeah.
no, no, you know, like,
This is your Tony Hawk.
not done,
Just
you know,
keep
I'm
it
not
going.
done, like, you're gonna go on to the next when I pull this shit, you know, and it was like, that was probably one of the best, like,
That's sick.
memories of that.
So savage.
Or like, one time we did shows at Evil Knievel Days, and it was like, in the middle of the show, it was like, this one's for Evil Knievel. And I just went and just did it. You know,
Yeah,
and all
that's
that,
so
all the Harley drunk people on the sides are just like, "Rah!" You know. so then I started drinking, you know, 'cause it's pouring rain. Okay, it's pouring rain, we're done. We're not going to do our last show 'cause it's pouring rain. So I drink a whole bunch and pass out in the back of the 50/50 motorhome. Next thing I know, after sleeping for an hour, after being hammered from partying it up on doing that, they're waking me up and the sun's out and it's nice and they're like, time to do last show. All right, and I'm like, huh? Right? And so we're doing our show and I'm, you know, kind of still hammered and stuff, and Bryant Shepard just goes and does a whole high pop one, new school style, right? And I'm like, all right, I just did one, you know? I got destroyed like 4 times. It was not working out. Like,
Was it on the step up ramp or just like the straight box jump one?
just the big jump.
Oh Jesus!
It did not work out for me.
It did.
Like, but I think about that, and it was like the first one was like, this is for you, Evil Knievel.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Not like, hey, Brian did one, I can do one. You know, it's all about the reasons of doing it. And that kind of like,
It is real. It does, like, that is in your head, you know, like you're doing it for the right reasons. You're lasered in and focused, and then you come out sloppy and just fucking, you know, and just doing it because somebody else did it.
yeah, it's
You know,
different,
it's like a
different
you're in a
reasons,
different
you know.
headspace. Yeah.
I think that's why people like me with a lot of stuff, because they could relate to me. You know, like it was like, okay, this dumbass flopped, but he's getting back up. You know, and he knows he's gonna lose because he already like fucked up in front of the judges, so he knows he's gonna lose, but he's still doing it because he wants to do it. Like, and then, like, people can relate to
They
that.
fall in love with you over it, you know. Like,
yeah,
they see
it's
that
like,
shit. They're like, you know, like you're 4 times telling the announcer you're not quitting, you know. Like, it's like,
I just
rolling.
yeah.
I think I've said that a lot about, you know, a lot of things. Like, you can see straight through the reasons why somebody does something compared to what, you know, somebody doing something because they're going to get something out of it, or to be better than somebody else, or to, you know, to show somebody up. You know, there's different levels of all of it, but you can see straight through it. You know,
Definitely. Did you have an opinion when that new school front flip came out? Like, you're like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Scotty
was the one
Scotty
that-
did like a turn down one.
yeah.
And it was like consistent and popped and boom and like pull it every try, you know. And then there was like a Corey Bowen photo.
Oh, the Corey ones are good. Yeah.
Corey ones are great. Like, I remember Scotty's, obviously, because he had like this 2-part motion, you know, like this pull, snap. But like Corey's were like pull, but he didn't snap as hard as Scotty did. So it was like up, but then he just like smoothed into it, but then he would like
Dude,
that's the Bowen
crazy
part.
looking.
Was
Yeah.
like he always had the icing on the cake.
Was it
Yeah.
was it Steven that got the photo where he was like super high over his jumps doing one, like 15 feet above the lip?
maybe.
It was either Steven or Nasty. I think it was Steven. Like, it was just like, holy shit, you know, like if I ever tried to front flip that jump, I would fly so far past the landing. You know? But like, I don't know, like the consistency of it, like when you in it, you have to have it. You have to have it. Like, everybody's, you know, they're not even doing a 1-footer over the jump first. They're going to front flip it in practice first time they ever hit the jumps.
Yeah.
You know, you have
that's
to
pretty-
have
that's
it.
pretty
it
common.
has to be on lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of those guys at the BMX triples, they say they prefer tricking the jumps and going straight.
Oh, for sure.
Whether it's
The jumps are so
the
good.
back
Yeah,
flips
they'll
and
flip
360s.
it,
Yeah. it's
I mean,
like-
Sandoval's the psycho that only threes it. He
Yeah.
won't. He doesn't. He'll three the jump first try through,
Jesus.
which is crazy.
Yeah, those
Like,
jumps are huge, dude.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
wild.
I think, like, out of the ones through the years, that was most important to me was the one that was, like, off the trampoline.
Yeah.
Because I thought about it the day before when we went out to the Utah tree. You know,
that was a really
I
fun
thought
time.
about it the day before, and I was like, I have to do this. I know I can do this. I have to do this.
Yeah.
And I was like, if there's one that I got out of any of them, that one. And then ski bike one and Hoodoo.
Mm.
That was a out of nowhere one that I wrecked a couple times. Had a busted back ski. Did it again and end up skiing my way out of it. That was another epic one, especially during the time too, because we went there to do the race and then we shut down this awesome session on that jump, and then we didn't even race.
Dude, I just remember when you were trying to do the one out the Great Salt there, like, I was talking to, I think it was Tate and
Oh, that
Elf
was-
after that, and they're like, Matt has lost his goddamn mind, dude.
That was
like,
a height to me lost my mind.
Dude, it was wild.
That was
It
a
was.
Yeah, there was like a
it was.
full-on like
It really
costume
was.
going on and stuff. Like, it
I was really
nuts.
in my own head with a lot of stuff before that. After we built the Red Bull ride and seat comes to the house, and we have a budget and we fix up the yard, and then I get Jeff's ramps and then keep going crazy
Yeah,
and in my own head too much,
yeah.
like for too long.
You're looking like Willy Wonka out there trying to do frontlets in the snow.
No, there's a lot. There's so much that led into that with me losing it.
Yeah.
Of like ghost stories of the Saltaire slides.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Never dive into the stories about the Saltaire. That place is crazy.
Oh, it was nuts because we had the slides in the back of the yard, and it's set how it is. And I stayed down in Salt Lake and came back, and it was windy. And I get home, and I check my email, and I remember the slides when they were built, but they were all busted up and falling apart when I was a little kid. I never ever saw it built. I never saw a picture of it built. I never saw it built. It was, built for a couple of years before it kind of got half wiped out, and then it sat there half wiped out. And most of the pictures you look at online, that's what you can see of it. So this day, I get a windy drive home from Salt Lake, seeing trampolines that blew out of people's yards and stuff. Check my email when I get home, and I get this email from Skier Jay, and it's a picture of the slides when they were actually built and good. First time I ever saw that, right? So I'm like, dang, I want to see more. I want to see more stuff about Saltaire and what was there and when the slides were built.
So Saltaire is a water park. That was the name
Yeah,
of the water
it
park.
was like this crazy like water park thing in like the 30s that like they would like go out and float in the Great Salt Lake because
Okay.
supposedly it was like good for you.
Coney Island type.
Yeah.
Where we got the slides from, there's the train car out there that's just, you can see it on the side of the freeway before you get to the Saltaire. That's the newer one where they have concerts and stuff, right? You can see this building that's still there and a train car and then just stacks of stuff, right? You see all these stacks of stuff that was just out there forever. That's where we went and picked those up from. So that's where we went and picked stuff up from. And so we've already done a haul of stuff and have it in the yard going in and stuff and going down there and winding around and stuff. And so I've stayed in Salt Lake, coming home and it's windy, and don't really think anything of it because the slides are bolted together with several 3/8" bolts to seams and stuff, right? So anyways, I get home and I would have never, anyways. So I get home and I get the email from Skier Jay where it's a picture of the slides that is built. And I'm like, oh damn, it's a picture of when the Salt Lake flooded, it got high. But it's all built. You can see it, the whole thing, how it was set up. And I'm like, oh damn, I want to see more. I want to see more stuff of it. So when I start looking at different websites, there's all this stuff that happened out there with the history of Saltaire that I didn't know. And I've always lived here. I'd never heard any of this stuff growing up, even though I, lived not that far from it. And the one story was like, because there's fires out there. There's a couple different fires out there. And the one story that was on a website was like too detailed. It was like gruesome. Like I mean, I'm talking like there's a fire and, you know, these people are reacting to this and these people are that. And there's somebody up here in a flaming window that's screaming, and they just decide that they're going to jump out of the window because they can't take it anymore, and the sound when they hit the ground and all this shit. And I'm like, oh my God, you know? That's right. And, but right at the height of that, the height of all that, there's a knock on the front door. Somebody's knocking on the front door, and I'm like, okay. And so I go to answer the front door. Ethan comes running up the stairs. And he says, dude, did you see what the wind did to the slides? And I'm like, huh? And we answer the front door, and it's somebody for him for something, you know? He's like, dude, you should see what the wind did to the slides. And so he goes down to talk to dude that's there for guitar pickups or whatever. And I walk out in the backyard, and it's seriously like ripped apart in like 6 places, where it took the seam and just ripped it apart. It took the whole straightaway and like folded it all the way over. Like, ripped apart after the style jump, ripped apart after the first straight, like just took these seams and just pulled them apart. And I'm like, how the hell did the wind get under that and tear this shit apart and flip it over, right? And it's still windy and it's still crazy. So I'm like trying to like get stuff, you know, weighted down and stuff. But after that, it was like, I got all superstitious, like because of the timing. The timing of it. The timing of it was crazy. Like, I got all superstitious over because I was just like, the people that died out there that went to this place to have fun, like, they're not known. They want people to know that they existed and that they died at going to a place to have fun. Right? I like felt this like weird connection, right? And so I started thinking about it a lot. And I remember, like, I was down in Salt Lake and I was going to drive back up home, and I thought, like, you know, I'm looking online to see there's some kind of, like, Saltaire museum at the new place that's open sometimes. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go to check that out and see if it's there, right? And so for some reason, you know, I'm kind of, like, drawn to that. I'm going to go home to Layton, but I'm like, I'll go check it out. So I'm going out to where the new Saltaire is, and for some reason, I think maybe I'll just exit early and take the frontage road. I don't know why, you know, I have no idea why. Like, I'm just like, maybe I'll try out the frontage road that goes to it. And so I'm driving the frontage road, and like maybe like a little less than a mile before the newer Saltaire, I see this little sign on a fence, you know, and I'm like, what the hell is this little sign on a fence? You know, what's that say? You know, so I turn around and I park, and I go see this little sign, and it says, and it's just before where the train car was and where we got the slides. It's this little sign on the fence that says this is where the old Saltaire was, where the fires happened and all the shit went. You know, like, and I'm like, oh wow, you know, this is where the old one was. So I get out of my car, and windows are open, doors unlocked, you know, and I start walking. I see pillars and things of where it used to be, you know, and it goes so far away from where I parked. I was like 2 hours easy. I was so far, like 2 hours. I was so far away from my car, like way out towards the lake, way out towards the lake, like just following pillars and like things of where it used to be. And there's like weird shit out there, like all of a sudden there's a dead bird, you know, okay, and then there's like there's a shoe, you know, okay, and then there's like there's like a metal framework for a thing, okay, like all this weird shit, you know. But I was like drawn to it, and I just couldn't stop walking to the farthest part of it because I was like drawn to it, because that's like where we got our stuff from, you know. Like,
calling you, Casper's calling you out there,
dude,
just
like
come hang out.
And I was like, when I came back to my car, like it might have been that time or a different time, there was like one piece of slide that was away from all of it, It might have been even after the other ones were gone. There was like one piece, and I strapped it down to the top of my car, and I took it home. So like, you know, we're working on stuff and building stuff all the time, and I really like, I'm in my own head with stuff a lot. You know, there's the Red Bull thing, and then I get Jeff's ramps, and then we're doing it. All the time blends together with all that stuff. But I remember like good. You know, I'm in my own head too bad with a lot of shit, but like, I'll never forget, like, you know, my phone's up playing music out of the speaker in the window, you know? I'm clear back down past the fire pit working on stuff. Probably slides or something, you know, down there changing it or doing this or that or whatever. And I'll never forget, like, you know, when you look out of the corner of your eye and you see, like, a bunch of, like, gnats or something by you, like a bunch of bugs, you know? I think, okay, oh shit, you know, a bunch of bugs by me. And then I looked over and I realized like there was like a 15-foot diameter swarm of bees, like 10 feet from me, and I was like, oh my, you guys, I'll just walk away slowly from all you guys.
Oh my.
You know, like, please don't kill me, you know? Please don't kill me, right? So I go up to the house where like Miller and whoever else was up working on some stuff by the house, and I'm like, you guys gotta see this. You guys gotta see what's down there. Like, you won't believe like what I was just by that could have killed me. So
Says these bees are gonna take
yeah, like holy shit, like I was like 10 feet from like this huge mass of bees, right? Like, come down here and see this. So, like, we walk back down there, and they're not there. I'm like, I swear they're here. I swear they're here, right? And they're just like, oh, cool, dude, whatever, you know. So they go back up to the house, like, close to the house, and they're working on whatever of theirs. I'm like, okay, I'll keep working on this. So I keep working on this, whatever I was doing down there. And, like, you know, you know, they gradually, like, slowly, like, come in to be in by me again. And I'm like, so you guys are back, you know? All right, well, if you want to kill me, just make it quick, you know? like I wasn't scared. You know, I was like, you guys are cool, like, hang out. I'm just gonna like be doing my thing, right? And so they parked in the tree by me, and it was like, it looked like a football, but it was like this big. Like, they just park right there. And there was just a couple of them just buzzing around by it and stuff. And I wish I would have had my phone to take a picture, but it's up playing music at the house, you know? And they hung out with me. They're just like right by me, just hanging out. This like mass of bees that's hanging out by me. And I'm like, all right, man, you guys are cool. You guys aren't gonna kill me. I'm not gonna worry about you. And so then they, you know, eventually they got into their swarm again and they left. But that same year, like, one of the days I go back and I'm working on ramps and stuff, and I got my Red Bull, and I take a couple drinks out of my Red Bull and I set it down, and I'm working on ramp bull turn in the trees and all that bullshit when I was going crazy. So it's hot, and I think, oh, I'm gonna go in for a second. So I take my Red Bull and I put it in the freezer. I wasn't even out there that long, right? So Red Bull's in the freezer for a little while while I'm inside for a minute, and then I go out to the ramps again to work on stuff, and I go to take a drink, and I'm like, oh shit, there's something in my drink. You know, I can feel something touch, like there's something in there. And when I poured it out, there was like 12 bees in my Red Bull. And they were cold, so they were all like drunk. You know? like they were just like, you know, like, you know, and I was like, holy shit. And only, you know, I left them sitting there, and only 2 of them died. Only 2 of them died, but this is shit that I was all in my head about, you know, and I was working on ramps a lot by myself.
What about, speaking of creepy at that house, the scary room?
The crazy room?
The dream room or whatever.
Crazy room was...
I slept in that room when I was 18.
Only...
And I was like, this? Because you turn on the light, it was like, oh, let's preface it, because...
Okay, so when we move, we go to look at that house to buy it, and there's the downstairs, and there's a room you know, the hallway comes around like this, and there's 2 rooms, but there's a room here that's between rooms. You could have made that a hidden room so easy.
So easy. Yeah.
But
Was
like at the old house, like
the sound room.
yeah, it ended up being a jam room.
Yeah.
You know?
It was, yeah.
But so when we go there to look at it, like the people that had the house before us, they found out that their daughter was sneaking out the window, and they found out that she was addicted to like heroin or something. And so when she was in rehab, they had her in this room, and you can see where there was a lock on the closet, so you couldn't get in the closet. Locked both the doors to a room with no windows. So they painted all this stuff. They painted all this stuff on the walls, like a landscape and a sun, and it said like, "Tell yourself the truth. Tell the truth all the time. Love life." Like all these things to like motivate her.
It was like a happy room. But
yeah,
like,
to motivate her
like,
to.
I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah,
fucking the pure look behind the smile was like pretty fucked up.
Well, the thing about it.
Wait, it was so painting when you slept in it?
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's not over yet.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Like we move into that house, and there's this room. We just called it the crazy room because it had all, you know, the stuff painted on it. Like
accurate name for it.
You know, just really nice. You know, like nice sayings and stuff. Trying to get her through rehab of stuff. Being in a locked door with, you know, no windows and shit in the basement there, and so when we moved there, and I got a bunch of roommates, and I got no job, I got nothing to do, I would go to Spencer's Gifts and buy blacklight stuff, and like we changed it. Like
We changed it.
yeah, but
Seeing like
so like
This is amazing.
so like you know when you know, so you walk into this room and it still says all the stuff that it said when you go there, where it's all this nice stuff to get you through rehab. But when you flip the light and you flip the black light on, instead of like saying love yourself, it says kill yourself. Like, it says all this horrible stuff. Like, but you couldn't see it with the regular lights on.
Yeah.
Like it was so bad. Like, oh my god. And so, you know, like Miller lived in there. But
I slept in there, and I was like,
Did it
I
have
was
all
like,
that shit?
I was like hyped. I was like, yeah, like I'm fucking like this room is amazing. I'm in. And then I slept in there, and I was like,
horrible.
I don't like this anymore.
So eventually, like, you know, the crazy room between rooms and stuff. Like I'm like, okay, here's where I'm going to put my computer and have my little edit room thing, right? So I just get paint and just paint over everything. You know, this is like stuff is on the walls thick. You know, silly string and like, you know, like there's a bunch of skull crossbones and there's all this stuff, and I just paint over it thick. You know, just like paint dark green over it, super thick. Put my desk and stuff in there, and like it's got like this much paint over all that shit.
Yeah, it doesn't even have baseboards anymore. It's just got
just
70 layers.
crazy,
Flat wall.
crazy thick. And at the end of it all, like Ethan had the jam room. We had an electronic drum set, and he would rip guitar. Like me and Ethan and Banton would jam, and I would play saxophone. Like Pinko would be playing drums. We'd be jamming there. It was awesome. Just
That's
making
very
noise
See,
in there.
that's all I knew it as.
It was
like,
so awesome.
Because I think when we were there, it wasn't too long after you got the house. Like I don't remember Ramps being at the house at all.
Probably not.
Jesus.
And it was like me and Big Murphy.
Yeah, I
And
remember
it
you
was
guys
like stayed at your house for a night or two.
Garage ramp
It was
wasn't
crazy.
even started
There
yet. I don't
was
think.
no garage ramp. There was not because I do not remember riding at your house at all. I mean that means that there was no ramp.
there was nothing.
Yeah.
When we got the house renovations for selling the house,
Yeah.
and the people that came in and painted the walls, and they charged extra for that room because they had to do so much work to like fix it. I have a picture of it where it's like sanded off, like it's sanded a whole bunch, and there's a row of like skull and crossbones that was like, oh man, that shit was so fun.
I wonder when it's like the people that own your house, your old house currently, and it's like they're digging and they're like, what the fuck is this archaeology
That's what-
site? And then, you know, like they go to paint a room or they replace the drywall and they get a inclination of the crazy room and all the other random stuff.
That's so funny because like so there's the mini ramp and the jumps like started on the side of the house and went around and it like dipped down and like jumped back up so you'd end up in the mini ramp. So it dipped down really low, and when we changed that and added ramps over that, there was some random like Diamondback complete bike, and it was like the back end of the bike. So there's a back end of a Diamondback complete with a 6-spoke mag buried in that backyard.
Isn't there a car buried in there?
No, that got taken out.
Oh, you took the car. Right?
But that bike's still buried there.
Yeah,
So-
there's definitely a lot of random. There's more shit than you probably realize buried back. X Games reinventing itself with the first ever 3-stop X Games League. First one, Sacramento, June 26th or 28th. Second stop in Chiba, Tokyo, July 4th and 5th. And then the finals in New Orleans on July 26th or the 28th. 30 plus years of pushing boundaries, promoting the love of BMX, and I'm excited to see what comes from X Games League. Get your tickets over on xgames.com. Thank you.
That was a crazy thing because Delecky wanted to do that magazine where it was like a then and now spots thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Do you think that if I come to town, do you think we could go knock on the door and that guy would, you know, let us take a picture in the backyard?" And I'm like, "Can't hurt to try."
Yeah.
You know? So like, you know, he comes to town, me and him roll up to the front of that house, go knock on the door, and I'm like, "Hey, how are you guys doing? You know, I used to live here. Do you think that we could go shoot a picture standing in the backyard?" And they were totally let us.
Yeah.
And it was
that's
so
cool.
Hell yeah.
so damn weird.
Was
right?
it? Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
So
Surreal,
damn,
probably. In
so
a sense,
damn
yeah.
weird,
Yeah.
right? Going through the old house where the new people live, down the stairs, out the back door.
They let you in, so you
Yeah,
didn't
oh yeah,
go around.
oh yeah.
Oh,
They're totally
Yeah.
cool about it.
Yeah.
Did
you
it turn
know?
it back into like horse property? Like what they do?
Yeah,
with it?
I mean, he added some more buildings. He does stuff with old motorcycles that are a weird, a different brand, not like Triumph or something weird, something
Indian
different,
or something?
something like that.
That's the only model.
I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what the brand was.
You know.
But the guy's cool. Like, you know, like we're friends on Facebook, but he never ever does anything. Right?
Yeah.
So like, it was just weird, you
I'm
know.
Sure, yeah.
So I'll never forget. Like, you know, I'm working at the job. I'm hating my life. I'm working at the hydraulic shop, and I'll never forget like going there and being there, and like right before I wake up, I have this dream that like I still live there. You know, except for they live there too, but they're not moved in yet. They're not there, like, but I still kind of live there.
Yeah.
And we're having this session, but the ramps are still there, but it's their house now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and we have this awesome session with everybody that's super cool, all my best friends, you know, like, and we have this awesome session. And I wake up and I gotta go to work and hate my life. And, like, I just remember like throwing up and like calling in like I can't make it in. Like it really like got to me that wasn't how it was anymore. You know, like, and it was a hard
Yeah.
thing to deal with. You know, like and everything goes how it goes, but you know when I was spoiled, I was definitely spoiled. You
I
know?
remember-
Like, and when it comes to getting a job, nobody gives a shit how many followers you got. You know, it was like jump straight into $12 an hour.
Yeah.
It must have been
You
sick
know?
because like BMX came to you at your house. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Everyone wanted to come ride to your house. It was like,
Oh, it was just like it turned into a crazy thing where it was like a free skate park, free motel to anybody and everybody. Like there were so many people that stayed there, like I didn't even know their name. They were just with somebody or
Yeah.
at a party and stay there. I don't even know who this person is, but
I just remember the one time I ran into like Derek Riggs at Layton Skate Park, and I was like, oh, like they want to ride to your house. I was like, I called you up, and you're like, yeah, they can come over this tonight to come ride for a minute. And all of a sudden they were there for like a fucking week. It was like, what? Like,
yeah.
how the hell
I
is this
can't
working
imagine.
out?
I can't imagine like the amount of shit that the people that paid me rent dealt with people staying up all night and partying and being crazy. But another thing about the the people that bought the houses a couple years ago, they put it on the market and they had an open house, and we got to go there. And they didn't move out. They had like my old bedroom was staged, and the top upstairs was staged and nice. But they're still like living in one of the rooms downstairs. But it was just so weird to go there.
That guy that bought your house is the same airplane parts.
Yes. So that guy, he's almost never Facebook. He almost never posts anything. Out of nowhere, he hits me up and he says, "I work at Boeing in the Ogden Industrial Park, and we're going to get rid of these things. If you can come get them, you can have them." And he sends me a picture of the thing that those guys had already been riding that I hadn't been to, that hop-up quarter pipe thing. And I hit Tristen.
It's in volume.
Yeah.
North Volume 1.
Yeah. I hit
Jonesy Feddersen does like the pocket wall all high, and like I did a couple things, but
so I was working on stuff here and being crazy about.
So the guy knew it was a spot.
Yeah.
You could clearly see because we've been riding the crap out of it.
It's a
And
straight
they're
up quarter
white.
pipe. It was nuts.
Yeah.
And he knew that I rode, so he hits me up and he's like, "We have to get rid of this. If you want it, come get it now." And I pictured it like being here on the cement or something, and I'm like doing other stuff, and I'm like, I hit Tristen up. I was like, "Okay, dude, you can go get this thing. I'm not gonna help you. I'm not gonna help you.
Dude, I called.
I'm not helping you. This will kill me to help with this.
They were like airplane cargo door molds.
Big
and
heavy,
so
crazy
it's
thing.
like they were made out of like fiberglass and metal to where they're insanely heavy.
Dude, it was like a ton, easily a ton.
When I got there, the lady actually that was working there that day loaded them onto a flatbed trailer I had with a forklift, into where we didn't really have a way of getting them off.
Yeah.
So where we took them,
You did the old burnout.
dude,
They had-
we took them to my friend's backyard where they're set up as like ramps now, and
They had to take them in from above.
yeah, we took out a fence and backed it down through the neighbor's yard, and then got like as many people as we could and just rolled them off. We had like logs and stuff underneath them to like roll them across.
It was
the
insane.
side.
Egyptian
Looking-
pyramid
yeah,
status.
Looking at
Yeah.
the trailer was maxed out to like I didn't help get it off the trailer because I was like, this
We
trailer's
had-
gonna pop off and get hit by a spring at some point.
Yeah.
'Cause this
We
thing
had
is
like 10 people
nuts.
there unloading these like airplane pieces. That
Yeah.
it was really cool experience, especially with like we had ridden them, for probably close to like I want to say like 2 months or something, where they were set up and to
It's
Matt
crazy
to get the call
It's
to.
crazy that they don't need airplane doors anymore.
Yeah, right. Like,
You know.
Yeah, I was like,
I've still never rode it. I never rode it when it was there. And
Really?
I don't think
It was
big.
an unreal spot. Like it was something you'd see out of a video game or like something. It was
That's
really
crazy. I can't picture it. So.
It was kind of sick, like how the dish used to be when it was in Salt Lake, where you'd hop up into it and then hop up onto the hill.
Yeah.
It was kind of sicker how you'd have to hop
Yeah,
onto it.
it definitely
you
made it
know?
more challenging because it was like a quarter pipe, but it had a foot drop at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like it made the,
Yeah,
the spot.
I'm
like,
sure I've seen it.
And when we
but I
first
just-
found it, it had like this box behind it it acted as like a sub box, where you could ride it as a sub and then come back in for the wall. It was really cool.
that spot was crazy.
Yeah.
Who rode your backyard at the old house the best?
Jeez. I mean,
Besides you.
no.
I know,
I
I
sucked.
knew
I,
you
was
would- I
washed
knew
up
you would
before I
never.
even started building that shit. Mikey, of course.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
Let's do a top three because I feel like Mikey would be the obvious.
I'll never forget. I'll never forget. Like, here's a good story. This is a funny story because old roommate Clint lived there. I come back from out of town. I don't know anything about anything. All of a sudden, Halloween party that I didn't even know was gonna happen is happening. All kinds of people are showing up in costumes and shit. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And just random people.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Friend-
Random or
friend-
what?
friend-
Party at Matt's stuff.
Friends of friends,
Yeah.
friends of friends,
Clint was
just
a
this,
party man,
this
dude.
party out of nowhere, right? And Mikey was hitting off the roof to jump over the ramp into the other ramp
Yeah.
at night in a costume, And like these douchey kids were like, wreck, dude, like being shitty, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And like they were shitty, but Mike was killing it that night, just like blasting that thing over that transfer, and that was unreal. Mike rode the garage like he would make wind. It was insane. Like he would go so damn fast in there and be so awesome in there, like it was unreal. Place.
Anything you touched, honestly.
And,
Yeah.
So that was pretty sick. You know,
The invert, like the photo or the video, even the video clip is cool, but the photo of Mike doing that invert over the transfer from the roof into the ramp and stuff is like, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, like,
untouchable. Dude.
yeah.
Just always.
I'd say
Mulligan photo or Z photo?
I think it was a Losi photo. I
It was a
think.
Losi photo.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Is
Losi.
it a invert?
Black,
or is
black,
it
black and white photo.
Yeah, black and
Yeah, I
white.
think it's Losi.
Yeah, it's invert. Yeah.
Is there a toboggan table photo that he does over that one too, or is it? Am I thinking
Probably
Yeah,
is.
I think
But
there's a one foot table seat grab maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could be wrong though.
the one I was thinking
It was
was
over
black
the
and white
he had
photo.
1 foot seat crab table over the hip out of the Mini, super
Oh, okay.
high. That
Okay.
was a good photo of
Yeah.
him.
That might be a clip too. I think.
Yeah.
Might be.
Remember Rob killed in the backyard.
So that's the thing about
Yeah.
So my video camera when I was filming with Purdy for Sentence to Life, I was at Guthrie Park. He was gonna fly out. I had my stuff with his stuff. When we left, I forgot my stuff was with his stuff. So I take him to the airport, and I'll never forget when I dropped him off at the airport. He was like, "It seems like there's more bags than I had when I left, right?" So I always wondered, because then I realized that my backpack's not with me, and it had my video camera in it, and I'm like, did he just leave it there and not take it? Is it at the airport? And I go back to the skate park and it's not there, but on that camera there's footage of Rob jumping off the roof into the mini ramp before the extensions were built, with some light up things in his spokes after being like drinking some, like just gapping off the roof into the mini when it was just the mini, just 6 feet tall. That was one of the footage that got lost. That was
So you never got your video camera back?
No. Never.
Fucking Purdy needs to. He's got all his footage. He's got your footage, your camera.
It probably just got tossed in the garbage. Anyways, that was one of the clips that I'll never forget. Was one of the ultimate loss of sickness of clip. But as for other people that stick out in my head, like I remember Barbecue 06, and we start going off the roof and hitting the hip, and people are up there, like me, Heath, whoever else up there, dropping hip, probably like BF. So and AJ Anaya comes up there, and there's the band playing on the deck, right? LaForce is like jamming on the deck, right? And AJ comes up there, and he's like, dude, could we get that guy to like move over a little bit? I want to hit that hip. And I'm like, oh, dude. I'm thinking like, he hasn't jumped off the roof yet. And I tell him, dude, he's brakeless, I'm like, dude, just go off and just spit off the side and don't hit the hip, dude. You don't have to worry about that guy. And he's like, yeah, but I want to double whip the hip. And I'm like, I'll go tell him,
Yeah.
And he just like, I don't even know if he jumped off the roof and hit the hip yet. He
Probably
just
not.
off the roof to double whip, and it's probably sloppy, but whatever. He hit it first time, double whip, this thing huge after rolling off the roof for the first time, and like blast this thing. Like, sure,
Barbecue was sick.
I'll tell him to move
I
over for
remember
you.
Jeff jumping that hip that day.
Like, and AJ was there for a lot of stuff. Off the roof to whipping stuff, and always blasting the 10-foot high and killing it. And another one that really sticks out was like, people are in town for something, do tour, who knows why people are in town, I don't even know. There's a whole bunch of people there. We're partying, drinking, people are riding. I'm down by the fire pit, and it was when there's the 10-foot quarter, and then the spine was like up to like a 4-inch top. It didn't have the deck on it, right? And it was like hard to like sprocket over the thing, for me, because I suck at air in a 10-foot quarter. But, you know, just to like go up and sprocket over, it's tough for me. And I remember being down by the fire pit and, you know, we're drinking a bunch and stuff. And I can just hear up at the house, just people are just like, yeah, right? I'm like, what the hell's going on? What's going on up at the house, you know? And I kind of start walking up there, and it was probably one of the early times of seeing Drew Bezanson. And yeah, he just like blasts the 10-foot. And then like over the spine that's hard to sprocket over, he's doing like Superman errors.
I was not expecting that, but it's also not surprising.
Like 5 feet over this thing that's hard for me to sprocket over. He's doing like Superman, or like, and then just like up and then up the wall to almost hit the gutter, and then just like, I'm like, what the hell, you know? And like,
he was a freak of nature. He wasn't afraid of anything.
Oh man, I was like, what is going on? Who the hell is this dude?
Yeah.
And then a different time, he went down the old slide that went around and like you jump up into the dish and then out of the dish. And he went down so damn fast, ripping around that, and he jumped over the whole dish. Over the whole dish into that lip, and then he whipped it. He like, I don't even know what that's on. He like, but him going around those corners, and those corners when we first put the old slide in with the all the way swoop, like you'd go around it and you'd be like, turn, you know. But then everybody's bars got bigger, so, you know. So I remember the last times of hitting that thing when you'd go around. I remember like hitting like bar end on like that inside edge, but man, he was going so damn fast down that thing and like huge over the whole thing, like, and yeah, whip over that whole thing.
That's nuts.
That's one of my things that was
he DM'd me literally today, said he's going to be in San Diego and wants to do the podcast.
Jesus.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that'd be cool to hear from him.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about like one of my favorite memories of like zooming around that yard was like going through the dish and then hitting down the step up that went into the dish and hitting those turns backwards and going around and round and around and up over the bump and around and up the thing and then around and like with no pedals.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite things I ever did, was like to pump my way all the way up to the top. Like that was one of my favorite things about it. Plus the garage too, holy shit. So many awesome times of crashing there and be laying there and nobody else is awake and I'm like looking at that flame paint job on the ceiling, like, you know.
I remember when the backyard was just a mini ramp, and then it was grass, and then you had like a hammock on a tree.
Snafu.
Yeah, and then that was my first time coming to the house. It was shortly after you got it, but then
we bought that mini ramp for like $1,000. We each pitched like $250 to move that thing, and it was a spine ramp too. And so all the wood left over from the spine ramp was what got started into having wood for the garage ramp.
Okay. And then I remember like anytime I'd call you, you were like in the yard working on something. It became like, it seemed like it was becoming just like, it like defined you for a while. Like the yard was like your like art project.
Oh, for sure.
And all the found things, all like the stuff from Salt Air or the satellite dish, you just find stuff, have this great story, how you got it, found it, brought it back. But I just feel like for a couple of years there, that was just like what you did.
Oh, for sure. Like for so many years. Like, I thought about that like yesterday when one of the guys from the other shops comes in and he pulls up a Google Earth thing and he's like, you can go through the years and look back at stuff.
That's cool.
And I was like, oh man, I'm like looking at the pictures of the yard and through the years and what it was like during this year. And the 2013 one is the one that shows the slide that goes clear back to the far back of the yard good.
Yeah.
But the mini ramp is like rubble. Like, oh man, and that I was so, oh my god.
Was it during the rebuild or something?
No, when it was getting tore down.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, but anyways, like, so the early times of having the mini ramp and all that yard, you know, there's all that yard that goes clear down there, right? But there's like mini ramp on the cement pad, and then there's the grass, and the 3 trees. That's how it was with the hammock and stuff. And then there's the little picket fence, you know, and we didn't like pass that picket fence for a long time, you know, where it was just like this far part of the yard that didn't get touched for a couple of years probably. It was like building all this zigzag windy stuff. I remember Ruel Erickson moved there, and like, you know, we're just working on all this like windy zigzag stuff and the turns and the jumps from the side and the curve wall and all this little stuff. And Ruel's, you know, he's like, dude, I kind of hit some big jumps. You know, there was no big jumps. It was like, let's get tech and weird and make all this weird little stuff. So it was like, it was a lot of time before there was actually the jump that went over the fence and then had the the first Odyssey video thing. Like I had an extra video where you jump over the fence and like land and like be cruising in the straightaway for a while, and like that's the only front flip I ever did at that, besides the trampoline one. Mike 720 that jump.
Yeah, I think it was in the Odyssey video, right?
And that jump was sick, you know. And then we put a jump in front of it, and it was like Mike could do stuff, but it was so technical to like jump over the fence and then hit this thing and then hit the trick jump. It was like crazy hard to do anything on. Mike did some shit like where he'd like jump over that thing and 3 the next one and then do something. And then I got a tractor, and we took the lip out to the second jump, dug all that out, and then made the landing of the second jump the lip to the trick jump. And it was just never the same, because you'd like jump the transfer jump, but you'd be like going up the lip, which used to be the landing to the second jump, and you were always like hitting this lip on a little bit of an angle. It wasn't like you had time to like square out and like set up like it was at first.
I remember the shed roof being a really popular obstacle, like grinding it and Mikey half-cabbing off it.
Oh yeah.
Taj. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Taj where, you know, where he downside whips up the thing and like 3s off it.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because like it was like for some reason the day before he shows up, that lip gets built for some other reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It wasn't even an
Yeah,
option.
it was like this perfect thing for him to do that. Like, and what else did he do? Oh man, the old Proving Grounds tight transition to steep thing that we got there, and he 5-tapped that tire on the coping the whole time.
God, that's my other. I have 2 other memories from the trip when Vic and I came. Was that we got to ride Proving Grounds, and I basically got to see Mikey's fucking square one part from Proving Grounds in real life. Like it was the session watching him was nothing. Like it was. I think it was before that video came out, and I was like, I saw this. Like, this was just a Wednesday, you know? Like, it wasn't anything. I remember I had never seen anything like that.
Dude, I then had the exact same thing. Like, I went to one of the Sunday closed door sessions with me and this kid, Chris Westland. We show up, and Mike Aiken and Matt and, like, baby Rob was there. Mm-hmm. And, like, it was the most insane thing I've ever seen. I'd never seen pro BMX. Like, this was, like, that's what that looks like. Yeah,
dude. It was crazy.
Watching these guys ride that place.
And then the other one was like sitting on the couch, and it was like Props Passport or something, like Euro Passport, and it's just Mikey fanboy shit. But like, you know, he's like ice pick to faking some 8-foot sub with no peg on.
Oh, that was Puerto Rico.
No. It was like a Euro Passport. Like it was like
a
backyard or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, and I was just like. I was like, what the fuck? You know, like yelling at the TV, but I'm like, dude, the guy's right there. Shut the fuck up. You know, things like, I'm like, what is this? Like, what, you know, like having a reaction to it and then being like, no, the dude is there right here. Like, settle down. Yes. It was a trip to see that stuff. And like, we only rolled through for a day or 2 and stuff like that. But
I remember Mike going out to Pennsylvania, to Erie for like a month or 2, you know, and being around Bennett and all those guys out there, and coming back and like all of a sudden he could foot jam both ways, anything, either way, both ways, either foot, foo-foo either way, either foot, either this, that.
It was the Bennett effect, because Bennett could do that.
Yeah. He learned to be really ambidextrous around all those guys. They were You know, I heard
Even that, we went to that Erie park where it's like that spine was like 7 feet and stuff, and that mini ramp was so scary. It was like.
I heard stories of Mike being at East Coast trails where, you know, he shows up. You know, these people are the die-hard, badass East Coast guys that live in the trees and build and jump every single day. And Mike shows up and goes through the line, like, don't follow anybody. First time through, higher and better than anybody ever.
Yeah.
Just warming up. Yeah. And they were all like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
You know?
That proving
This is
ground
supposed to be
thing.
hard.
Yeah, I was like, my mind was blown with the proving ground thing. Like, I had never.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Just all those
Those
like quarter
days.
pipe stills, vert walls, dude. It was just nuts.
Yeah. Because I don't think we'd ever, like, seen. We never had a park like that either. So, like,
Yeah.
just the way he was, like, roasting over the roller door thing and stuff like that, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Oh.
So, it was cool.
Yeah, Wide Awake Nightmare, huh?
Yeah, is that what it was?
When that park was set up like that, it was like on point. Like,
Yeah.
and we were there so much. And yeah, you could just kill it.
It was a
all-
Wednesday,
all-
you know, it
all
was like a
day,
Wednesday
every
or
day.
whatever. Like,
All
it's
day,
like
every
any
day.
given
It was
fucking
just
day.
like
Yeah.
normal
Yeah.
how Mike goes about it, you know, and just step it up and just wild.
Back to the garage. I remember the yellow photo when we shot that. You had this idea for your ride interview for the opener. I remember like it was like an adventure for me because you took me to a Utah version of like Army Navy surplus store, and it had like missile shells outside, tanks.
Smith
and
Edwards.
Edwards.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Smith and
Yeah.
Edwards.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
You got
Yeah.
you got like the yellow, the whole yellow jumpsuit.
Oh
And I
my
remember-
God! You got to go to Smith and Edwards with
But they took all of that out. So
Yeah,
like,
all the stuff out-
store's still there, but
all those.
That
roo-
shit was so cool.
Yeah, all those crazy rooms that were outside that had all that random old war stuff.
Yeah.
All that stuff's gone now. They got rid of all that stuff.
That's too bad.
Still a
That's
great
cool you
store
got to
though.
see
No, I'm
that
not gonna
shit.
lie.
Goddamn, cancel him.
I think I actually when I did Rob Wise's ride interview, we shot his portrait with the missiles, the empty can of shells also. But anyway,
That tank's still there. out
it's
front.
probably hard. It's probably harder when they moved than the shells. I would imagine. But I remember you painted the whole room, the whole thing yellow, with no ventilation.
Oh, yeah.
And you were like,
he's just like, yeah.
I remember in there. I was like, I couldn't. It was winter. It was cold, so I think it was close. We had no windows anyway because all the windows were like boarded up.
Yeah, it was kind of a gap.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'd be painting in there.
Yeah, dude. The
I'd be
fumes
painting
were
in there and
insane.
not even
They
think
were
anything
insane.
about it, and then leave for a while and walk back into there and be like, "Oh my God!" I've been
Yeah. So you did that, and then I remember you're riding and you're breathing and you're like your cardio, and it was like the fumes, and it was worth it because it was such a memorable photo, and it was just the whole backstory was just super fun. The whole experience to do it, you know. But I just I always laugh at that whole situation. Like I would just
man.
go sit on the couch and hear you painting in there.
I was still painting when you got there, huh? 'Cause I
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
ready yet.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Was it a roll? Was it a roller and brush?
It was
or
probably rolled on yellow already, and I was
Yeah.
painting the red parts of it or some shit.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe you're painted red with spray paint, but yeah, it was. I just merged fumes were
Did you
insane.
consider painting yourself yellow?
I got I had the yellow shirt.
Well, you
I
always
had the
just
one
painted
yellow
you're
shirt,
spraying your bike too.
but I painted my entire bike.
Everything.
Yeah.
And I had those yellow, they were like rain pants that
Yeah.
we got at Smith & Edwards, right?
Mhm.
And it's so funny because we went to Layton Park and it just looked so wrong seeing, seeing my bike out of its element of being around all that.
Yeah, it
yellow
looked like
shit.
normal in the garage.
Yeah.
If you take it somewhere else, you're like,
Like,
what the
yeah.
fuck is this?
How long did you ride your bike yellow like that?
Not very long. No. And that's the crazy thing with, like, in my hoard of stuff, like, I'll randomly see something that's been painted over that was yellow, and I'm like, yeah, that's like part of that shit. You know? Like every once in a while, there'll be one, like some little thing that's just like, oh, shit.
Everything went from bright yellow to army green.
I'd probably spray painted black over it or whatever. Man, that was such a great time though. That was like, 2005?
Yeah, maybe around this time.
Yeah.
I just remember like, every time I come up here, it was always really memorable. Like, and I remember like someone mentioned like the horses in the yard. I remember sitting on the couch and waking up with all the flies.
Oh
There
man.
were so many flies.
Oh, that's because like there was always the
neighbors had the horses.
There was
and
always
goats
like
and stuff.
the window. You know, there's the upstairs and there's the big window that opens up, and that's
Uh-huh.
where you put the speakers.
Yeah.
So you just leave that thing wide open, and you know there's like the random shitty kitchen and stuff, but that window is just open all the time because music's just playing, right? I'll never forget. If I pull it up on my old computer, like I have a picture of me there because we had fly strips like crazy in there, right? I have this picture of me and I'm like holding like both hands like just a whole bunch of fly strips
Dude,
just
there's so many
covered,
fly
you know.
strips.
Oh, it's so horrible. Oh, I miss it, man. It was so
Think about your
I
computer.
miss it.
I remember your
That's
computer.
such a funny sentence. Oh, it was horrible.
I miss it. Just not like just not having standards, man. Like like it was just so fun to
I remember your
not
computer.
give a shit. You know,
mentioned-
that's what I'm so jealous of Nick in so many ways. But at the same time, it would suck to have your water turned off or have code enforcement coming at you But I miss it, man. I do.
I mean, it's crazy because in a sense, like you lived a huge portion of your life not abiding by any rules that a typical human does.
I was
And
so
that's
I was so lucky with my whole damn career because like I had 2 years of riding for Redline where it was like contest, win, be on it, be X Games, get in this, win the, like, and Redline's like, did you make X Games? Did you make X Games? And I don't know, I crashed every run in the trials, like, and then I get on S&M and Chris is like, have fun. And I'm
That's
like,
what's up.
oh shit, like, am I doing okay? Are you having fun? Are you doing stuff? Yeah. Oh yeah, you're doing great. I'm like, the hell, right? Plus, like, immediately, like, I don't know. I look at all that stuff with the. I look at Redline. I love what Redline did for me. Like, they really helped me move out of my parents' house. They gave me money to not have a job. They sent me a lot of places, and I wasn't the guy to put their name on the map for winning the contest and put their brand in there and stuff. But as soon as that's a funny story too, because when it all went down at the end of '99 and I won the MTV thing with a drawing or whatever at
I was literally
TJ's.
gonna bring it up. I was
And,
just I was waiting for the moment,
and I
when it
did.
made sense to
I
bring
got
it up.
second place at
MTV
Roots.
Sports and Music Festival.
I got
right?
second
Oh,
place
yeah.
at Roots. I did really good, and I was set to be contest guy and make a couple grand a month, and like then 2000 hits, and I think that the apocalypse is going to happen and the world's going to shut down, and I want my last decision to be one that I respect and actually do for myself.
Yeah.
And Chris was able to, give me less than half of what I could have got, but at the same time, like, it was always like, I want to ride something that I would buy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on something that I wouldn't buy myself. And as for dealing with Redline, I couldn't tell them what to make that I would buy because they're engineers and they've already been doing stuff and making things and doing different things and like selling things that I didn't really like.
Yeah.
Like the square back ends on the things, like that shit kills your ankles if you hit it, and like I don't know, like I couldn't talk to them. Rooftop came in and like he got their ass
Yeah, he
in gear.
sharpened it up a bit.
He got their ass in gear. He was like, no, you're doing this, you're making this cool, you're doing this, you're doing that, and he like took charge. Like he really like, you know, turned Redline around and like did a lot for them changing up their styles of things.
Yeah.
Like, and then Fuzz is Redline guy, and they had a 16, you know. But besides that, like, I was already around S&M a bit because of Utah Ryan, you know, like, and you know, hanging out at the warehouse, and you know, even though I'm on Redline, we're still, you know, Chris is still giving me forks. And
I feel like everybody was running those forks at that time period.
Yeah,
too,
like,
because it was like kind of before the Odyssey ones came in too, and then like, but if you, I mean,
for sure,
Pitchforks
everybody.
was like, yeah.
Odyssey came in and made that fork, and they had Chris, you know, ghost riding bikes into the wall to see what their what fork's gonna break before they put the star thing into it, because Odyssey came in doing the 41 thermal stuff, and like everybody was like, holy shit, like look how light they are and they're not breaking.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
the
like,
lifetime guarantee on them and
shit,
everything.
you know, like we better like change our shit, because these guys, people are buying their stuff now when everybody used to just buy Pitchforks, because Pitchfork was the fork that wasn't your stock.
Was one you could trust.
Yeah, it wasn't your stock one that came on your GT or your Redline. And when I was on Redline, there was the monster forks, and they were like this big, you know. Like, I don't know, yeah, we had a great time with the era of huge shit, you know. Like Fuzzy's Mongoose with a big gas tank, and the tubes are huge, and like, I don't know, then everything started getting lighter, and they started doing different things with different metals and all that stuff. But I look at it like skateboards, how they changed shapes and like did all this weird different gimmicks and concepts until they're all mostly about the similar,
Same,
you know?
Yeah.
Like
Small tweaks here and there.
yeah, like a little bit different change of geometry or stuff like that.
Garrett Reynolds signature Monticule jeans. Straight leg, little bit of stretch, high quality cut and sew. Straight leg's not your thing. You want the big old wide boys. They got the Max Miller ones. Jeremy Malotte's got his signature pants. Dan Kruk's got his signature pants. Head over to monticule.co. Enter the code Unclicked for 10% off whichever pants you want. They got hats. They got shirts. Full lineup of gear. But it's not just a code thing. Kicking off Monticule Clip of the Month. Head over to Instagram. Post your best stuff. Hit it with the old hashtag Monticule COTM, clip of the month. Then you go to the URL, you submit it to Monticule. It's just the URL. It's not like you got to upload a video or anything. Name, email. Should only take you like 30 seconds. And at the end of the month, we're going to watch 3 clips, choose a winner. That person gets a $100 voucher from Monticule. You're going to get a package from me. I got some Monticule gear. I'll kick in some ourbmx stuff, whatever random bits and bobs we have, and everybody's happy. Shout out to Monticule for sponsoring the podcast, for all they do, supporting all those bike riders, making cool stuff. This is how we keep BMX doing well, support brands that support BMX. That's it. Thank you. Back to the podcast. What year was the MTV Sports Music Festival?
1999.
They did 2 years or 1 year? I feel like they did 2 years.
They did. The 98 one was when they actually were in Austin, and it was so... I mean, not that the 99 wasn't sick.
Where was the 99 one?
99 was Vegas.
Okay.
Danny Wade jumped out of a helicopter into the vert ramp.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the Austin one. That's the one where like Troy McMurray was wearing like the fucking prison shirt because he just got out of jail that morning and stuff.
Yeah.
Jimmy jumped over the whole container.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
rooftop.
and LeMan.
And they had bands playing. It was more like a music festival with a thing at it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the craziest here's how that went for me with, you know, I'm invited to this thing, which is like a big deal. They're like, let's put 5 people in this thing.
Yeah.
You know, TJ, Fuzzy, me, BF, Nasty.
Yeah.
Which it's like, what about everybody else? But at the same time, it's like, okay, let's have a session at.
You're like, I'm in there. Fuck everybody.
Yeah,
Go get your check.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's 5 of us, and we get to we get to TJ's house and it's like they got the fake grass, they got the they got the cameras, they got the hype, they got the crowd that cheers when they tell them to cheer and shit, and
they definitely made that place look bigger than it was.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So like, first day of getting there, I hit the jump side, and I go jump around the corner, second jump over the bars to just shoulder, right? Just like shoulders like out a bit, right? I have to not ride for the next day and a half. I can't, I'm hating it, right? I'm like, oh my God, I gotta ride. Like I can't, right? And they had rails set up to be the alternate for me if I couldn't ride, but it was like, ice it, talk to medics. I'm like, I have to. So like, so we had our session. I did a front flip to dog piss 1 foot lander.
Oh yeah.
I ate shit trying 360 front flip and get killed. This and that, But anyways, besides all that, here's my. Besides all that, we hit the jump and like go around the turn, and at the end there's the guy with the microphone that's the hype guy that's like, oh dude, that was awesome, dude, right? Oh, that was sick, dude. Oh, bro, giving us high fives and shit, right? And it was just like, okay, cool, thanks, man. Who are these people?
Yeah.
What is that shit? What's that 70s show? I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I had no clue. I had no idea. There's like the hot chick that's on all the movies now, and the blonde curly haired guy that's in jail now, and then the Ashton Kutcher guy that's in the Butterfly Effect and shit, right? They're the ones that are there, right?
Yeah.
And he's the dude that's like, oh bro, right? And anyways, like, who the fuck are these people?
Somebody runs into him at some point, or he falls or something.
Well,
too.
Okay. So here's so they got crowd of people that cheer when they tell them to, which is bizarre too, because when somebody fires some shit out, they don't cheer.
Yeah.
So it's weird when they tell them to cheer and they do. But anyways.
Yeah.
So like, there's a crowd of people down this like bunch of sod, right? And it's like, we're gonna do a guitar throwing contest, right? It's Ashton Kutcher and another curly haired guy that's in jail and shit. These guys got these guitars that are like just V guitars that come to a death point, right? And they're just like, Shah, right? And it was like, guitar goes past the grass and like into this crowd of people that's like, oh my God, right? Like so, like blood and gore. These people are terrified, and the medics are probably taking them away because they just had a flying like V guitar come at them, but the thing that was weird to me was like, those guys played it off. Like, they were like, yeah, bro, see how far that went? Mine was so much farther than you. They had to, because they can't be like, oh my God, are you hurt? Are you okay? They're like, oh, bro. Yeah, like they had to play it off for TV, and it was like really weird to see that, really weird to see like this, like, oh my God, like because they weren't like, oh shit, sorry,
Was there real money on the line for that event, or was it like kind of just like a demo?
Oh man, so that's a crazy thing too, because like it was like $2,000 to be in it.
Yeah.
Right, and $2,000 if you win.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So
TJ got like. Probably like 50 to have
who
in his house.
Who knows what?
Yeah.
So here,
no shots, as in congrats.
Here's how.
It's like when Pat Casey had X Games at his house. It was like, that motherfucker had a good ass weekend because he won the park or whatever.
Here's how stuff got weird for me. With there's the 5 of us. We all do our shit. You guys gotta choose who wins, right? All of us are like, we don't want to choose who wins, and MTV's like, you guys have to choose somebody for TV.
Oh yeah, it was rider chosen
for right? TV to have. We have to have a winner. You guys have to choose somebody for TV. We have to have a winner, and we're like, okay, let's all vote for ourselves, nobody vote for anybody else, and then we're gonna put all our names in a hat, and we're gonna shuffle it up, and we're gonna draw names out of a hat, and whoever picks the name wins, right? And whoever wins splits the money between all of us, right? So that what's $2,000, split.
Yeah, $400. each.
$400
Yeah.
each. Everybody gets $400, right? So that's how it goes down, and somehow my name gets pulled, and it's like, oh shit, like I'm like,
Yeah,
did a crash, did a dog piss lander, front flip, whatever, like holy shit, right? I get my two grand plus my $400, out of the split thing. So here's the thing, like in my Redline contract, they would match my winnings.
Yeah.
Right? So I sent it in. $2 grand. Redline paid me $4 grand.
There you go.
Yeah, there
Right?
you go.
So I got $6,400 for doing a front flip 360 crash and a front flip dog piss land with a wrecked shoulder. I don't think Gork was happy about that match winning things. My match winning things was gone when it was all said and done. But shortly after that, this is October, right before Halloween. Shortly after that, ABA Grands is doing the same thing where we got 5 people in the contest, and they're gonna have you guys decide who wins, and maybe you'll get lucky again, and they'll draw your name out of a hat.
Is that what Gork said?
Yeah, and it was just like,
Yeah.
dude, like I didn't choose that. I didn't.
I'm not a huge fan
Yeah.
of Gork, to be honest.
And like he had
That's
his.
a real kick in the dick.
Yeah.
Well, it was, man. It was a rough thing. Because it was like,
Just like
man,
a chick
You're
contest.
riding Redline on TV.
it's,
Yeah.
you
know,
know,
like,
like,
Ashton Kutcher.
when I
It's not like you fucking took money
No,
out
when
of
I-
his kid's mouth or something like that. It's
No,
like
I
the
know.
fucking budget. Don't
no,
have
it's
the fucking matches. Yeah.
competitive racer shit
Yeah,
between him and Chris Beck and who knows
Yeah,
what.
yeah.
Like maybe not, like not at the time, but
Yeah.
when I quit, when I had, $2,200 a month could be contract to quit for less than half for Chris, and Gork's like, I don't think you can do that. I think there's a thing in your contract that says you got to stay, and I was like, no, there's not. And he was like, can you think of anybody to replace you? He was
Yeah.
he was nuts. But it
Nuts,
was like, dude,
yeah.
I don't know, I can't. And
So what was the real
you know
reason?
who-
Is that, I mean, you said you want to ride what you want to ride, of course, but was it? It's got to be like remarks like that and kind of just like
Millennium.
yeah.
Me being superstitious and crazy in my head. Plus, I was around those guys.
You thought the
I was around those guys
the
all-
1999 code was going to get you?
Oh yeah, you can't. The computers can't take the date. They can't take that. They can't take that date. You
Well,
have
I mean,
if
I
the
don't
world
need to be the buzzkill, Matt, but I think they can because
turns out it didn't end. that might.
Straight up, dude. Drop the contract. I'm going lower money.
so basically what happened was
Mayan
you didn't
calendar
want to
didn't-
die on a red line. Like you were like,
No,
the
no,
world
like-
ends and then it ends with me on a red line. That's not how I want to go
I don't
out.
want
You know what? You know what though? Like.
Oh my god.
You know what though? Like here's first off, my replacement was going to be Birdwell. Birdwell was not, Birdwell was kind of, into some stuff at the time.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
He's got a great story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
didn't happen because of
Works for Apple now.
different things.
Does he really?
And
Yeah.
so
He fucking killed. Yeah.
oh
he
yeah,
fucking kills
yeah,
it.
oh yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
they came
Really?
to.
He's
Wow.
I mean, Cam is
And he goes for it like
he's an
hell.
animal of a human being. So
For
he
sure.
he just goes, I'm gonna attack bike riding. I'm gonna attack substances, and now
Yeah.
I'm going to attack a job at a tech giant.
At the
Yeah,
time, he
he's
wasn't their
Good
guy.
dude.
Yeah.
At the time, he wasn't their guy, but Adam Strebe was their guy.
Oh, crazy.
First guy that flip whip.
Yeah.
First flip whip. He did some
Iron
shit.
Monkey.
You know,
Yeah.
Iron
Did you ever try
Monkey.
the Iron Monkey, Matt?
No. like Adam Strebe, like
What is the Iron Monkey?
It's like a
it was a
360
360 X up to downside whip.
Yeah.
Oh, why
So,
don't people do that anymore?
So like but he was their guy. Like he did everything they wanted me to do.
Yeah.
In my contract, they wanted me to have prime pads and helmet instead of boneless. That was hooking me up. not S&M forks and their forks, not match winnings no more. He did everything they wanted, and he lasted like 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what they would have done with me. Instead, I was like part of this worldwide family of crazy underground punk rock, and I still am. You know, like, and like I've always felt that like since Super G was flowing me stuff. You know, and I did the Red Line, and they paid me for a while to move out of here, now have a real job and be in the mix with that. But it's always been like more friends than anything. I mean, I got paid from S&M for 15 years, and I never ever had a written contract.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah. It could have ended tomorrow. Hey, dude, no more checks for you. You're done. You know.
Yeah.
I never once had a written thing. It was just always just the way it was. And anytime I'd be down on myself or wondering what to do with BMX or life, and then I talk to Chris, and Chris is so smart, and my downer like gets turned around this or that. Well, what about this? What about that? And then I'm psyched after I talk to him. You know, he's such a smart guy that comes up with ways to move forward past all that shit. And yeah, I mean, I can't believe I was part of all that stuff, and it lasted for so damn long. And
there's a credit to both of you guys though too, because obviously you had, you know, the everything that surrounded you, the entertainment factor, the creativity, all that stuff, and then you have Chris that sees the value in that and that is willing to stick with you for so long and support that.
It's a big family too of different things, you know, and it's still the same, you know, like, you know, me getting into this or that because Stu or, you know, like, it's just like, it works all these different ways of, you know, it's not like here's your contract, this much money 1 year, then you're done and cut, you're out, you're gone.
Yeah.
You had your 15 minutes of fame. It's like, what can we do to help you? You know, and when it all ended, it's like, you know, I'm like 37 and I got this house that's not having jams and events and things anymore, and it's like I'm not getting street parts, and you know, like I can't team manage because everybody's a fucking mess all over the place, and like the house is gone. That was a big part of it. That was a big part of my image, my thing, my whole everything.
Yeah, that was your hub.
Me as my hub, you know. And then Chris, you know, for 2013 when it's all going down and going away, and you know, all I'm doing is tearing down ramps and jumps and trying to like fix this house, and Chris still kept me on the team and still, you know, has me be a part of the thing. And you know, I like, and then, you know, even after we lived here, it was just like, eventually it's like, you can't be, you know, I don't know, I talk about that shit a lot with people. It's funny, like, it's like being adopted for being cool for a while. You know, you're like adopted by a new family for being cool, like, you know.
I feel like I have like a new mentality with it, like or a new phrase to like sum it up. You go, you have this time period, and then you go afterwards. If you can walk away and you go, wasn't that fun? Yeah. In a very simple sense, it's like if you can say, "Oh man, was that fun?" Then you can walk away with like good thoughts overall, because everything ends.
Well, a lot of people when it ends, they're super like, how can you do this to me?
Yeah.
You know, don't you know who I am? Like, you know, like, you're fucking me. How can you do this? And it, like, they're like, sorry, we have to, you know, but, and all of a sudden that person goes totally against the person that paid for their life for that amount of time. They're like, you know, you did this to me, you cut me, you know, like I didn't deserve this, no, you know, like, and like, I don't know, like, life goes on, like, you can't be adopted forever, you know, you're eventually gonna have to grow up, you know. I look at it like, even with me, with you know, with when Odyssey let me go from the pro team, and they said a thing like, oh, we're getting rid of Matias and Huang, we hope them the best, but they didn't say that with me. to me, I'm still pro. I'm just like, well, looks like it doesn't suck to draw me. You know, like, and I said something. I said something on something, and I shouldn't have.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because it did so much for me through, and I shouldn't have. You know, I was in a, you know, not communicating spot with them, and then like, you know, house is going away. I still think that I'm somehow worth getting paid. You know, even though I'm getting old and not in the mix, but. You know, when you get used to that shit happening forever, it's like, what did I do to deserve this, to not have this keep going?
Yeah.
You know? And like, I love those guys, and they, you know, I'm psyched that I had some stuff on their newest video, and they did so much for me, and it, like, I'm the problem. I never made a plan with my life, ever. I never, ever. I still don't, you know?
Yeah.
I still don't have a
problem.
plan.
I'm saying
you
your
know?
problem is
Like-
is the thing. Is like the plan's not.
Go with the flow.
Yeah,
you know?
it's more in the sense of like, I don't know. All good things come to an end.
That's
of course,
true.
you know. Like, and it sounds like the house was like
It was a big part
such
of it.
a center of happiness for you, and just like because you had all this community around you and stuff like that, and I can see just by everything that you are a you know, like the hands are moving all the time type thing.
It's a wave too.
Yeah.
You gotta ride the wave.
I can't let the, you know, have to get a job. I can't let that be me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let that change me being me.
Yeah.
It's not possible for me to. Like, I still, like, rode 8.5 miles at lunch Monday, you know, by myself with headphones on. And everybody looks at me like I'm the crazy dude that's 49 on a little kid's bike, zooming around.
And you're
But-
like, yes,
I'm
I
like,
am.
He works on a military base, like mind you, to where like people around are definitely not used to like seeing a BMX bike in public.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so it's
I mean,
gnarly.
I'm not gonna let it change me, you know. And like, you know, I'm gaining some weight. I'm like 270 now. What the hell, you know? And, but at this too, also like, where do your goals go? What do you motivate for? You know, when you wake up and do the same thing every day, and you know, go about it. And
as I've hung out with like normal people, you know, like because my kids going to school, I meet other parents and stuff like that. I find that this is just a human problem. You know, like, it's just a male problem of like, what am I doing? What is my goal? What makes me happy? Shit was better and now it's not, and it's like, it's like, I'm just saying it's a human condition.
Yeah, it's
The
like
more
the
people,
30s, dude.
the more
30s are
people
that
that you
way.
talk to is the more people that like have so many similar issues. That, like, you would
Yeah,
never
but they
think.
don't have, what they don't have is all this cool shit and all these cool
An action
memories.
figure?
An action figure and fucking, you know, like they don't have all this other shit that they can go look at all this like fucking awesome stuff I did and all these cool fucking experiences I had. You get the people that have been like, oh, I've been in finance or fucking for 20 years and I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're like, dude, you lived the first 40 years of your life doing exactly what the fuck you wanted. Like, think about that. Like,
Kind of want.
I'd be
yeah, that's kind of fucking winning, you know?
Yeah,
Like, that is kind of fucking winning.
That's called
You
living.
didn't even follow the fucking, like, laws.
Yeah, there's
You
a bunch
know,
of shit,
like,
like,
you just did illegal shit every day, basically. Like,
yeah.
I look at it like all the years of all that stuff. I mean, BMX for me, I was a racer kid when I was little. You know, that was a blast. You know, there's the competitive thing of going to nationals and getting the trophies. So there's goals and motivation to do good and to compete with each other. You know, and then the years go on where I get into skating, where it's like, you know, express yourself, do the tricks, do this and that, do a new thing that's awesome that nobody's done or whatever, you know. And then I get back into riding too, and it was like my idols, my mentors that are pushing the sport. It's like I'm at the start of this thing where everybody's pushing it and like coming up with stuff, but at the same time, it's like you're all acting like a bunch of little kids, and it's a blast to act like a bunch of little kids.
Yeah.
So for that to last as long as it did, like, I just don't want it to stop. And
Yeah, it's
for
hard.
me, like, being nerd from suburbs and Roy, like, I had plenty of times of riding by myself, so I still love to go
Yeah.
have headphones on and just be jumping up and down curbs, and I don't know. And I try to hang with you guys, and you're like, "Oh, you got this," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" I don't want to accept that. I don't want to accept that I can't. You know, we go to Clearfield, and that one night it was like I tried that grind to drop to grind, like half-ass one time, and you're like, "Dude, you got that. Let's film it." And so I put in the work to get it done, and I'm like, "Holy shit!"
The fire is still burning.
I'm heavy.
Fire
I'm
is still
like,
burning.
you know, like, you pick your battles different, and you go for it different, and, you know, it's good that you got good friends to, you know, be with you and still act like little kids, and, like,
I talked to Jonesy today, and like just going, you know, over stuff with him and like talking about things. It's cool to see guys that have been doing it for so long and still have that, like, I have to ride. It's not like it's not an option.
Yeah.
I don't ride for like a few weeks and, like, you know, something's missing, something's wrong, you know, or and that's what he was talking about. Is he's like, I gotta get on it, you know, and I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Fire burns.
I think it's crazy. Like, I was like being a little mid school BMX nerd from Utah. Like, I always thought Matt was like the lifestyle BMX that I wanted to live.
Yeah.
Like, Matt had a backyard with ramps, which is so BMX. It was just the raddest thing ever.
Yeah.
And, like, he's still like living that life, which is sick. Like, not to blow up your head anymore,
Well,
Matt, but
I mean, like, I saw a little kid come in here but he didn't knock on anything or anything like that.
Maria's kid next
Yeah,
door.
like, I was like, that's sick. Like, he just knows he can come in the backyard and ride bikes. Like, and that's fucking
Little
awesome.
Aussie, like,
yeah.
"Hey, is she watching you? Yeah. don't crash, dude. Like, there's stuff in the way."
No, but it's cool as hell though. I think, like, you set this precedent of, like, BMX is so much fun and, like, it's something you want to do, like, forever, and it's like, it's rad. I think it's like trickled down through, like, BMX as a whole, I think. Personally.
Yeah, especially, I mean, I was gonna ask about where do you think the creativity in your riding came from? And I mean, for lack of a better word, the weirdness in your riding,
Honestly,
and the unexpectedness.
a lot of stuff was like, that's funny. Like, a lot of stuff was like, Mike was too damn good. You know, why bother?
Mike made you weird.
Yeah, you know, why bother? Why bother even, like, keep doing half-ass turn downs? You got that shit on lock, dude. I'll just be over here. You know, I don't know, like I don't know, like.
Growing up with Gary Young, I understand this because I was like, Gary would just let me have certain things, you know, like.
Well, you know, when I go do a half-ass turn down, it's the only time Mike's like, "Yeah, Matt." You know, I'm like, "Dude, don't yeah me with that." I'm just not gonna do it. You know.
Can't do it like you with those fancy pants, man.
Yeah, you know, like, I don't know. I'd say, like, a lot of it was like time by myself, goofing off. You know, too much time on my hands, too many sessions, zoning out, goofing off, and plus, like, I guess I don't know. I get a kick out of people being entertained by my shit.
Yeah.
You know, I think I had a really lucky niche in BMX. You know, like, where, you know, I could throw something crazy down that got in my head, or I could do a candy bar or something stupid. But I would, you know, ride qualifying, just not even thinking I was gonna make finals. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna count myself out for that shit, you know, and not think about it that way at all, you know, and think about the setup and the situation, and I'm like, I'm gonna make myself be known, I guess, you know, like, I don't know.
Do you think, I think back in the day too, compared to especially these days, that, like, getting the clips and props and getting the photo of something unique that something nobody else did or saw was almost more than winning the contest. You know, like, you could do you know, I remember you riding an event with a wig on, and I'm like, I don't remember who the fuck won that contest.
Horse
That was
head.
fun.
Yeah,
You guys already talking about the horse head?
A big part of that is like so many people are so serious about winning. You know, like lighten up. You know, 99.99999% of the world thinks you're on your little kid's little brother's bike. You know, like, get over yourself. You know, and I know it's serious business, but have some fun, man. Like, think about the reason why you started in the first place. That's why I like, you know, seeing certain people that have a blast the whole time. Like, they're serious business, but they still, like, have a smile on their face and, like, I don't know. And like I said earlier, like, you see directly through the reasons why people are doing it. And if they're just damn good and having a good time, you're like, hell yeah, you know? And I'm jealous of some people, you know, you're so damn good, it's gotta be so fun. You know?
It's like watching Peraza.
Peraza, you totally get that vibe
riding
from
a
Peraza.
feast event in shorts with no knee pads on and then flaring the box backwards. You're like, what the fuck, dude? How can you not wear knee pads at all? Like anything, not even like little gaskets.
So he's got that biggest grin on his fucking face.
Yeah,
Like, oh my god.
And he's riding during every minute too. Like everyone else is, you know, packing the jumps, whatever. I'm just gonna ride 5 round. You
Just
know,
imagine
it's
dropping in and you're like, I know I'm not gonna fall. I don't need this shit. Like,
That's a level of confidence.
yeah,
dude.
it's just
Jesus.
crazy.
It's the stuff you can relate to, you know, with having fun, you know, and you can't. You see the determination. I don't know. It's the reasons behind it, you know. You see the fire, like, and you like it's what's it for, you know, and you know what's the consequences of it or nuts, you know. And yeah, that's tough too. And I've been in a shit like USA BMX, like, you know, a couple contests at Core Park, and the X Games being put in there as a judge, and it's like you can't judge people against themselves as to if you think that they're doing it for the wrong reasons or not. It's who puts it down right now.
Yeah.
You know, like.
But you can still, you know, you can have your what you're a fan of and
Oh,
stuff
for
like
sure.
that. Yeah.
For sure. That's why there's That's why there's a couple of judges. You know, like, but I don't know. It's an honor to even be any kind of part of that.
Yeah.
You know, like, but you know, the level of shit's insane too.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's so damn good. It's not even funny. Like, where does it go from here? You know, and I like.
I ask that question a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
like,
what's next?
Yeah. How does anybody get like noticed and is that what it's for? You know, like this day and age, you know, like maybe somebody stays underground that's bad as hell, you know, that could be sent all over the world. I look at Breakless Dave, man, he could have been all over the world still, you know, yeah, oh yeah, you know, and I guarantee he's still just as talented. He just like didn't want to be the guy that has his life in front of everybody all the time, you know. And
he didn't like that. He didn't like any spotlight of any kind.
There's a part of him that likes the attention, but at the same time, like, he knows that he's not gonna like actually make good money.
Yeah.
You know, like, cause they're, you know, I don't know. Like,
It's hard when you become accustomed to a lifestyle in a way for.
I look at like
construction.
I look at him and Rob with like my life and my paychecks are like about to just go away, and these guys are like, people want to film them, they want to pay them, they want to send them, they want to up their names and stuff, and they're just like, nah.
I'm gonna go to work.
Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? You know, like, jump on the train, man. Like, get sent around the world, you know. But at the same time, like, I really respect both of them that they
it's
have
really
their
inspiring.
responsibilities of like being an adult. Like, and I still won't ever figure out how to do that as much as I'll act like I try. But
Rob definitely just like pulled the cord in the middle of like,
oh yeah,
I was gonna backward ice up rails and do all this stuff, and then peace out.
Yeah.
Like he was like the most cutting edge street rider,
Oh yeah,
and then now he's just like
disappeared for a year.
gone.
It's crazy.
And Rob and Dave, like they're still just like come out of nowhere. Like Rob trying to hand plant through that thing when they
Yeah, to get him a bike.
yeah, like it's like he still got it.
Oh,
Did that come out yet?
No, he didn't. I don't think he ever got what he was trying to where.
Did you try to hand plant through the judges' tower?
Yeah,
Oh,
over
was
and over.
crazy.
I was filming it
He's-
from behind, like he was trying over and over. And I'm like, dude, just an inch this way, man. Like he's trying over and over.
He's still the best on a bike and still like
I miss him. Like I mean,
best person like all around. Like,
Yeah,
I
can't say
miss
enough.
I miss being like seeing a ledge that's like this tall that I could never do anything on and being like, hey, dude. Hit that and okay, it was so fun
dude has
to
some
come up with
thoughts.
shit for those guys to do. Like hey, dude, do that. All right.
It's funny the combination that you need when it comes to being a professional bike rider, because you need the skills, but you also like need to put yourself out there in a certain way and be willing to be uncomfortable in certain positions and stuff like that, and it's just
thinking outside the box.
yeah, and just maybe even like like some people aren't driven that way. They're not driven to like shoot for something, but they're driven to like they enjoyed something and then they don't want to make that enjoyment into this career.
Yeah.
It is.
It's all in how the cards are dealt too.
Yeah, and then also maybe they miss their opportunity to get some solid money at a pivotal point, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go this way because this is safe.
And not to do with either of those guys either, but BMX is small.
Yeah.
Like word travels.
Yeah.
Somebody says or does the wrong thing, everybody knows right now.
Yeah.
It immediately like cancels like all the shit that was good that everybody thought about that person is just like, no, you suck now.
Yeah.
Like you've crossed the line. Like everybody immediately knows. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bike riders over the years that are just that style person that they had an abrasive personality and that it just didn't work. Like I want to say like my example of this is like Zach Gerber.
I knew you were going to say Zach Gerber.
But there's
I don't
other.
know why
there's
it popped in my head.
Yeah, but like he didn't get his shot. It had nothing to do with me.
No,
but I
no,
was
no,
told
no.
he was like not cool at points, and it's like he seems pretty fucking cool to me now these days, but I don't know what he was like when he was a kid. But there was Jeremiah something. Jeremiah Smith? No, that was like the long hair.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Jones, I think, was his name, and he like got something at like East Coast Terminal. Like he rode the event really well, and he was already kind of a little asshole, I guess. And he like got a picture for like getting 4th place or something, and he like smashed it, and it was like people were like
major disrespect.
and you were done. You never even like there was nothing after that. I never saw him again really. So it's like it's just one of those things where it does go around, especially back in the day too.
Well, they say like if it's like you're great, but can you get in the van?
Yeah.
If you can't be part of like the squad or the crew and just like
That's
mesh with everyone.
Dennis
it's
had
like,
the most. He was like, if you can't pretend you don't suck for like 6 or 7 days,
Yeah.
like then you suck.
That's real.
That was like a Dennis quote. Like, it's 100% valid. Like,
There's
you
enough
can't even
good bike
fake
riders
it
out
for
there.
a little while. Like,
Come on, just don't suck for a minute, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
It is a camaraderie and a lifestyle thing too.
For
It's
sure.
not all about just being good.
How's the Project Spoke thing dropped recently? How's that response been?
It's been great, like because it's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
And like that, Justin that did it, he was, pretty dedicated to all of his different things that he did, like the filmmaking of it all, like
Ambitious with all the documentaries
For
and
sure.
stuff like that. It was a crazy project.
Yeah.
he
I
was
like he came to stay at Tate's house and he's like seemed so overwhelmed because
Yeah.
like I have so much to do. It was like like
I would have given up.
he was into it. He was into it before COVID. Like some of the interviews that are on that are before COVID stuff. And like it's been really, really good response for all that stuff. Me, getting real with crazy times of life or whatever, real reality check of everything.
Matt, he works at like a youth home where he works with like troubled youth and stuff, and like he's like a therapist for it. He tells me, like, he told me the other day, he's like, dude, I have them watch that Matt Project Spoke thing all the time because like he like meets these kids and they're like dealing with these issues, and he's like, you need to check out this dude and see like what his path was, and like it's like he says it's impacting like the kids that he's working with in Boise, Idaho. It's like the most random thing, but it does like mean a lot to like those kids for your story, like on video.
That was like, like I said, I thought about, I hate the labels and hate dealing with reality for the most part. Like it was a big thing for me to even admit it to myself that was reality or whatever. But like at the same time, like I had people like sending me messages like that were in a really hard time in life, and they were like, thanks so much for being somebody that I always liked and looked up to just say, hey, this is how it is, like it's such a big deal, like, and really like TJ's the one that convinced me in the first place, and before that, like, I'm in my own head back and forth with this and that, like, with the Albion comes out and it's like, oh, everybody's laying it out there of how there are crazy stories and this and that, and Steve Bancroft came over and I got hammered and I said, hey, this is how everything is, but at the same time I was like, there's too much, I can't.
Do you think he knew before he did the interview or no? Okay,
No.
Yeah, it was literally spur of the moment.
No, like I caught so many people off guard with so much shit.
Yeah, I think like for myself, like that's when I learned you're like that way too. Like I remember being at a party at your house, and I walk outside. He just told everyone on the front porch for some reason.
Oh,
and I walk out, and Jordan was like, "So Matt's gay." And I was like, "All right, well, whatever." Like, I walk outside, like just walk right past him. It was like one of the funniest things. Like it didn't matter. Like
one of the funny things was like, I've been like Tim Thompson's such a great friend throughout the years. Like he's a great friend, and. But BMX is BMX. You talk about other shit like all the time. It's just all. I mean, he was even a roommate and stuff. But I never like said, hey, this is like anything, because it's everybody's personal business or whatever. And I hit Tim up and I said, hey Tim, I got married this morning and we're gonna like meet up at the gay bar tonight for the after party thing. You should come, dude. Like, and he was just like, huh? Like, he called Fuzz and Elf to see if I was like just messing with him or whatever.
Like I already called 2 people. It was like whatever the first person said.
Double
Like,
confirmed
I'm
the
gonna get
situation.
triple it confirmed
I
here.
don't know, like people like I'm just so random with messing with people, I guess. And I guess that's probably like one of my coping mechanisms with anything real is just kind of like be random about something else and be entertaining with shit, never like face the facts, like, and yeah, I don't know, like it was a big thing, like you're your worst enemy. You think what anybody and everybody's gonna say, but that's not like, that's kind of just like, you kind of disrespects that they actually love you and they wouldn't say that, like
Not giving them enough credit.
Not giving them enough credit, and for the people that know me because of photos and videos and stuff, like I don't know them, they don't know me, like that shit came out with Spoke documentary thing came out, and there was somebody that, like, who knows who they are, Instagram, that skateboard guy that, like, I don't even say any more than that. I looked at his page a little bit, and he was just like, you're gonna burn in hell, you piece of shit, and it's like,
Fucking hell.
yeah.
internet gives every shithead a voice.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
and I look at it like, Well, like I said on that thing, if it saves one person from like offing themselves and being crazy in their own head, it was worth it. Like, and I don't think I think in this day and age, like, I don't think anybody's gonna come to hate me over anything. I think I'm pretty.
Something I thought was really cool is like kind of in my generation that like riding around you and being around like the Cannon Hall and like Boston Fawcett era and stuff. It was like we were all young and we became friends with you because of bikes, to where it was like I can remember like people telling me that they had learned it, and for me it was like you and I never had a conversation about it, but I was friends with you at a young age, to where it was cool to me that it was never like even a conversation that we had to have. For a long time it was like you were my friend regardless.
That was a tough thing to me, is like I didn't want to like go to a skate park and have somebody be like, oh, there he is, like hide your kids, get away. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause it's like, people are people, and it's like, I ain't some shitty creep, I'm just not, like,
Think back to like the 90s and shit, and like how brutal, we all were to a degree, in the way we said words in a blasé way and not necessarily thinking with it.
For
and it's
sure,
like, and it's like how that can form your opinion as a whole, like for the rest of your life, of like, me as a person doesn't outweigh the fact that of my sexuality, which is insane, but when you've grown up and you've been standing around people talking shit, like
for sure.
Nastasio's Death Grip interview.
Oh, I remember.
Dude, like when he did I've even the first podcast, and we just did the other one. It's like, man, I wanted to fucking ask, but I'm like,
You know what though? When I remember all that stuff, and when they came to town and did a show on the Kiss box jump, and it's not a thing that I would say, hey, this is how it is, this is my life, this is how it is. Like, it was like, hey, I gotta go, I gotta meet up with my husband for something. And for me to even like say that after him like saying that, it was just like such a big thing, And I think that I love Corey.
Did you watch a reaction? Did you look for a reaction? Or
not really.
Yeah.
Kinda. Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I love Corey, and I know that.
I think
I love Corey, and I know that Corey loves me, and that like he we've been through so much, through so many years. Like, I don't think he's going to be like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, people are people, Like, and I don't think he thinks of me any different than, I mean, maybe he thought I was a total nerd throughout the years or whatever, but, I don't care.
I mean, that's different than,
maybe, and everybody's, I mean, maybe somebody's hit on him before, and he was like, fuck you all. But I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think Corey's a good guy. I think, like, Corey just says what's on his mind at the time and doesn't think of anything offensive.
Yeah.
Doesn't even think about it like that.
Yeah.
Like, and I think a lot of people, here's something funny that I talk about with people about that shit. Because I'm not offended by much shit, It's context, Like, I saw that South Park where they got the guys on the Harleys and the kids, the South Park kids. The South Park kids are like,
when they rev it.
Like,
Did you see that episode?
I haven't.
So they basically changed the FAG word to mean that it's like if you're loud and offensive on a Harley, you're now.
Maybe I have seen something.
So they're like, I'm not gay, like they're like, I'm not gay, and then they do it more, brah, 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 and they're like, it's amazing. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty much, like, people would get a kick out of it if I'll say say something shitty about somebody else, I'd be like, I'm gay, but that guy's like just like, I don't know, like pretty entertaining, you know, like, I mean, I don't know.
It's a beautiful. I mean, like shit like that. When you think of all the people, the millions and millions of people that see like a show like that, and think about the effect that it has. It's like it. You know, you just change the word of it. You know, like, and it's like how offensive it could be to somebody and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, then think about how you saying that word to somebody else can be offensive. And you're offended by it, and like that's like kind of the point is like. Flipping it over on these people that are like would use that word and go, why is this word important to you to say? Like, no, that's gay, but then you go, no, but it's not, it has nothing to do with sexuality and stuff. And he's like, yeah, but it's you're meaning it in a negative way, so just use a different word. It's not that hard.
It sucks.
Yeah. That's it. Like, it's like it's not that hard, and I don't understand why people get attached to that in a sense.
You know, like I watched the Spoke thing, and I see a part where I censor myself, you know, and I think back to like Birdcage, you know, when Robin Williams is like, look, I'm a such and such year old fag, you know, like that's, you know, like to that's where I wanted to be, just like, look, you know, I felt like, you know, you gotta be proud of yourself to be like, you know, like, look, all right. Like when Eminem disses himself at the end of the fucking 8 Mile, you know, like you gotta be like, all right, look, I'm gonna say all this shit against myself right now. Like, what do you got?
Yeah.
You know,
just
like,
take it from them.
Yeah, what do you got? You know, like look at me. That's not the, you know, I'm me. Fucking deal with me. Yeah. You're gonna fucking deal with me. What's the clash? Who gives a shit? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
I like dealing with you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's randomly showing up to the spot in a wig or something, dude. I thrive on the energy. You know?
I'm a horrible random person. Like, I don't know. I'm always in the moment with stuff.
Yeah. I think that's like all kind of the beauty of BMX. It's so funny because we all like grow up loving this like certain thing so much that like we don't care that someone's gay. We don't care that someone's like a different like race.
No,
it's like we all do the same shit, and it's all we give. Like all we care about. It's like I don't know. It's funny like talking to people that I grew up with that like they are like, you know, seeing things so differently, and I'm like, I never really cared.
Yeah, it's kind of irrelevant,
dude.
For what we're doing, you know.
You all just care about one thing. You just love one thing. It's like
so some of the shit that people said when the Spoke thing came out was like yeah, like we know, like let it go. You know, it's like and it's like, well, shit, man, like. It's just because it came out online, you know, I'm not trying to like, you know, I'm not trying to make anything out of it. I'm not trying to get attention out of it. It just happened to come out online now, you know?
Yeah, and even that opinion is like, because it's let's get over it, just because it's not a big deal to you. The point is that it is a big deal to people that are still afraid for whatever reason, or that are questioning themselves or whatever, you know, like that's the whole point of talking about this stuff. And and especially your story is unique because you grew up in a different time period and you felt like you couldn't for your own livelihood say what you would because you'd lose sponsors and shit, and that's like fucked up.
I remember on the Odyssey Palm Springs trip is when you came out to the group, and when I first learned of it, did you plan on telling everyone on that trip, or was it spur of the moment?
Wasn't it in a hot tub? It was in a hot tub too, right?
No, we all got in the hot tub after.
Oh, after.
Okay. So here's my take of that trip, right? Like we're all Palm Springs. We're all like, you know, the Odyssey team's huge. Yep. We're all staying in a house. We got way too many people. Like, we're all staying in a house, and everybody's awesome, but it's just like a mess of like, you know, all of us there. And so we're all hanging out outside and drink, and that was when like probably Chase was just like, what's your what's your craziest story of sex, blah, 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 right? And all these people are like saying all this different shit. And like,
Did Aaron tell the Dallas Cowboys story?
Oh
my God.
All right, that's not my story to tell, but I was just curious.
Somebody else on the team was talking about a story about some girl that did some stuff to him that was like not your regular manly thing to do or whatever, and like everybody was giving him shit, and I was just sitting there thinking like, I'm just gonna drop this. Like,
Coming with the hammer. Let's
go. Not necessarily that, but at the same time, it was like, don't. I'm not next in line. I'm not next on the hey, what's your story? Hey, what's your story? I'm not next on that. Like to where like, it's just like drink, and I'm just like, okay, drink more. Subjects change. The subject has
Preparing yourself for this the entire time.
the subject has changed. Especially because we're in Palm Springs and there's all it's like the gay capital of the universe besides San Francisco or whatever.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But
my birthplace, guys.
So the subject has changed and we're talking about other stuff and just like randomly fucking like Chase's like, so Matt, you never said any kind of story of any kind of crazy sex thing that you've done, and I just said, well, gee, hey guys, like I've had a boyfriend for 6 years, and like this is how it is, and I'm totally gay. Like it was just like, what? Like wait, what? And like everybody was just like, fucking right on, man. Like fucking let's drink, dude. Let's fucking drink more, dude. Fucking good for you, dude. Like everybody was super cool about it. And how I put it, I was just like, look, I'm around you guys so much. Not a crazy sex story, but it's a little bit different than your fucking
No, they're expecting
it's a little bit different than. It took me a long time of like situations where I was with close friends where I felt comfortable enough to be like, this is real.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this like all at once big thing. It wasn't like, hey, guess what, everybody, that
like on Instagram or something.
Yeah, that just and that kind of was like what the TJ podcast, and even then it was like.
That podcast was rough, man. It was like it was like such a important subject for and then they were so blasé and they talked over you the whole time. It drove me nuts.
Joking about it and stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, it was cool that it happened on there and it was like out in a certain way.
Yeah.
For sure.
They're joking and having fun.
I think that was
Forrest
cool.
Griffith's like, who the fuck's this dude?
Yeah.
But I still I love that because I'll never forget when talking on the phone with TJ and he's just like, dude, we're doing this podcast thing. It'd be so good for so many people. You should just do it. I'm not really like, he was like, because I had already like. The main
even if it's not good for other people, it's good for you.
The main people that that mattered. I mean, my fucking career's over. Everything's, I'm falling off. And it. Besides all that, how do you put your image out there anyway when you don't really give a shit for the whole career?
Yeah.
I mean, through all that, did you think you have to say the name? Do you think you lost any friends coming out? Because I know the same people still hang out every goddamn weekend at your house.
Not people that matter.
Yeah.
And it's not even like I lost them as a friend or anything. It's like through the years, I have a cousin that's the same age as me in Colorado, and he's married and they're really into their religious ways, and they're always like, we love you, but you can't get married. We love gay people, but they can't get married. And it's like they say a bunch of shit like that. Like you're good people, but you're not this. You can't do this. You're good, but you can't do this. Like, I mean, he said a bunch of shit. But it's like, So when he found out that I come out, he sent me a thing saying, "Hey, I hope my views don't, reflect on how you think of me as a friend and a relative." And I said, the next time I see you, I don't see it being any different than the last time I saw you when we have some drinks and talk shit to each other, and you can be against anything you want, but you're still going to have to deal with having a gay cousin, so just deal with it.
Whatever, shut up, bud.
Yeah, whatever. And I think my sister and some of my other family had some other not so nice things to say, but I haven't ever talked to him since then. You live your life, I'll live mine. I just unfollowed what he says on Facebook. I don't even know. And that sucks because we were great friends growing up. Childhood friend. We're the same age. He got me into skating. But at the same time, you're distant. You never see each other.
Yeah.
Everybody's away from each other, and it wasn't like he was spouting hateful shit. He was just not, marriage isn't for you. We like you, but you can't have the same rights as us. Yeah, whatever. That's their religion.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that I thought were gonna be shitty were the most coolest people. And I think everybody realizes that, especially as we get older, none of that shit matters. They just all want you to be happy, and everybody's so disconnected anymore with only talking on Facebook. If they see anybody in real life, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they love you, and that is the thing that
way
pushes
more than
above
that
everything,
shit. To me, with any of that stuff, it's just I never wanted it to be a label or a deal, it was.
That's the idea. That's the goal eventually of of being, if it's not worth talking about. There's
you know what it is when you're known for something and get something out of it, even if it's just the attention, you're always gonna have your haters that are yeah, but this, because of their insecurities and their
They got played down a peg for some reason.
Yeah, and it's that's one thing about the internet. It gave every asshole a voice, whether anybody knows them or gives a shit or it matters or not. But you hear it, you see it. When, like I said, when the Spoke thing came out and they erased all the comments, but I screenshotted them before they erased it. Anybody that's shitty that spouts shit, especially, I'll just say this now, especially people that spout political shit, take your side. I can't debate you, you're never gonna change. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If I ever bring up my point of it, it's just gonna make it worse with you. I just don't want to hear it. And I that's why headphones are good.
Kind of going back a little bit, so James was really close to you in the ending phase of kind of tearing the yard down and stuff. Did you ever because James is kind of a loose cannon sometimes, he was an amazing person, but loose cannon, was there ever times where you were worried about coming out to James or
I came out to James and Becca right after Bancroft left for Albion thing.
Really?
Yeah.
So pretty early.
Yeah. I was just losing it. Because everybody's around everything's normal all the time. And I was seriously back and forth on the phone with Bancroft in England,
because he didn't want to pull it for a while, right?
Yeah, well, no, he wanted to do whatever I said.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah. He was just if you don't want me to do it, I won't do it. And I'm just I can't, I can't do it. I can't have it out there. And then 20 minutes later, I'm fuck it, you just fucking right.
Yeah.
I don't know. But so I'm back and forth with shit like that. And I remember people being over at the house and stuff, and I remember just sitting by the trampoline dip ramp thing, and James and Becca are there, and I'm just like in my own head, and I'm just like, I'm going through some shit. Like, I just said this to this magazine, and I don't know if I can do it or not. And they were like, do whatever you feel you want to do. You know?
James was always like one of the most supportive people, no matter what you were going through. Like, he always made you feel like your problems were nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like, didn't matter what you were going through. Like, he was there to like, oh, you got that.
Yeah, for sure.
James
Pinko. One of my best friends throughout, you know.
Yeah, they got really close in the. I mean, you guys were close for a long time, but they, you know,
Especially tearing down the ramps.
Tearing down the ramps, like the ending phase of the house, like you guys were like every day.
Even like when like Jeff Brown lived there, and James didn't have a job, and he's taking care of his brother, and James, you know, can't have a job because he's taking care of his brother, and like I'd go get the beer for the both of us, and we'd play games, and you know, play video games and hang out. And we're like great friends, you know, like
we're the best humans, yeah,
for sure, you know, and yeah, fuck man, life's short.
Yeah.
I think about that, like.
Did he pass away?
Rest in peace.
Yeah, he got hit by a car.
Hit by a car.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
On a BMX bike, yeah.
Oh yeah. And I think about it like, shit, man. I think about all that shit, and I'm like, he was listening to tunes he didn't see it coming.
Out of all the people that like could have been hit by like a car riding around town, like he was,
out of all the other shit he could have died.
Yeah, he was like one of the craziest people. Like,
Yeah.
but he grew up riding around town to where, you know, one of the last people that you'd expect for something like that to happen.
The connection you have, and who you can be, how close you are or not with who you know or not, how far away you can be from somebody you're close to, or how, I don't know, like, it's interesting, but I don't know, the two wheels, little kids' bikes, got you guys here, that's cool.
I think we're in no graceful ending, but probably call it there. It's almost 11.
No.
We gotta drive back.
No, that's cool. I think that you guys got some random bullshit.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's not meant to be.
I would say uncrunked, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
Let's go. Start the bonfire. Let's kick it going.
I wish we could just hang on. I had no obligations tomorrow.
One thing that I wanted to say before we're not mic'd anymore is that I'm happy and life's good, and even though you guys probably never see me ride anymore, I still ride, and I'm in a great job, and I look at it like it's my own private Idaho. Shit's good. What's the beer name?
Oh, we already drank them.
All right. Thanks, Dale.
Too good.
Thanks, Dale.
Thanks, Dale.
Dale, you're the man.
Hey, man. Dale's a man.
You make it possible to keep doing this shit.
Oh, it's good, man. I think.